I mean, if I was up there, that's what I'd be saying. But they got to belittle themselves, so that they can be, as you say, entertaining, to be crossover, crossover, appeal to pop. Oh, I'm the king of pop. Really, was it when he started out with the Motown thing? Enough of his tunes was pure, proper soul music. What they call soul. Or they call it today R&B. But adding to your point though, they have to be self-around people.
And if I may say, I mean, in my own personal life, that's what I experienced, because when I was growing up, I knew some Edomites, and they were cool with me, so long as I had low self-confidence.
Right.
When I started to be more assertive and be like, nah man, this is what it is, all of a sudden all these Edomites are looking at you like, who's this guy? Who does he think he is? You know what I'm saying? They don't like it when a so-called Negro...
Your chest has got a little bit bigger in your confidence.
Yeah, they don't like it when a so-called Negro knows who he is. And that's basically these small hats who are fear that Jake's gonna wake up to who he is. And that's basically the cat's out the bag. You can't stop that. You can do nothing against the truth before the truth, because the more they try and censor these celebrities, the more they're overreaching and exposing themselves as to who they aren't. Because a lie can't last forever. Eventually the truth will always crush every lie. Now there's another point I want to make on this, if I may. It's like
let's get a priest.
It's like a...
I knew he was going to say that, because I know that we have to
just say this one last thing?
Yeah, go on.
I was watching a video from Elder Apostle Tahar yesterday about this, and he was talking about when Nick Cannon done the same thing. And they had that small hat turn up on his show. And Apostle Tahar, he said it was so funny, it's like, if that isn't an example of hate, I don't know what it is, because he says the small hat was sitting there looking at Nick Cannon like he wanted to tear his throat out or something, simply for the fact that he said that, hey, we might be the people of the Bible. We might be the Jews. What's so hateful about that? Anyway, back to precepts.
Let me just bring this one out, Psalms 2, we're talking about being austere. Now, a stand-up comedian, this is what we're going to be saying, you know, we ain't going to be no comedians in the kingdom, but you know what I'm saying. Psalms 208, Psalms 2 and 8 says, ask of me and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
That's why them comedians do be doing them type of things, because it goes to the word comede, which means food for thought. So they're making jokes, but they're actually hinting at elements of truth within those jokes.
And he actually said, I'm going to be careful. Dave Chappelle said, I'm going to be careful. I have to be very careful. I'm walking a fine line here. So, man, the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with an iron rod. Thou shalt dash them to pieces like a potter's vessel. The point you had made earlier, I remember when you said that we're going to have to break them in, man. We're going to be breaking them in psychologically, mentally, physically. And sometimes when you had a bad day, you know, I know you will get it. You come out of the world and you think, man, what's the Elder Apostle Gabar uses the word therapeutic. When you break someone mentally, physically, and even physically, right? If you get away with it, you don't get away with it in this kingdom. We don't do that, but in the kingdom we're going to be doing that. We're going to be healed. We're going to feel good. We're going to feel. It's going to be therapeutic, letting off that frustration. Be wise now, therefore, O you kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. So we're judges, man. Right now we're still judging. Right now on the left-hand side, on a level where we ain't got the power though, because the most I said we're going to have to experience what it's like to be on the left-hand side. Living it. We're living it. We're about that life on the left-hand side. We're living it. So when we judge now on the right-hand side, when we sit down on that throne, Lord willing, with those men, the 144,000 in our lots, we're gonna know how to judge, man. You know, we're gonna know exactly what it feels like. And I'm gonna read this one again. I'm gonna pass it back to you. Psalms 2 and 8 says, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the utmost parts of the earth for thy possession, man. We just have to ask, man. And you can ask now. You know, when you see a nice woman, you say, I claim that woman. Same thing sometimes I do when I see something that I don't like. All right, I get out. The other day, I mentioned it last week, I was in this shop, and I don't have to go into all the details, but I walked out and I wasn't happy with the way that I was spoken to by an Ishmaelite. I said, this shop, it was in my mind to say it before I went, but I said a little prayer so that I don't go, don't go overboard. I said a little prayer, and this is how, if this happens, I'm going to deal with it like this. So he said what I expected him to say. You know when someone, you can tell when someone don't really respect you. You know when you go in some of these shops and they deal with you. So I said, all right, this shop is cursed. Where's the other people that used to run this shop? Now this is, and I went outside, I can't remember what one of the brothers did, and I just said, and I put my hand like that and I cursed the shop. Nothing more to say, nothing more to deal with. End of story. Done. So we're judges and we know what it's like to be treated in a bad way. Yeah. So when we judge now, and the men that we get, we claim certain. You can claim men, you can claim people, you can claim situations, you can claim stations. Like I've claimed a particular police station. Back to you.
The scripture says ask, bro. Yeah, we can do it like that, but us being out here is asking, man. Us doing the work is a form of asking, man. We're out here for a change of environment, man. A change of roads, man. You know, we're out here to just preach and then be happy in this simulation. This itself is a plea, it's a prayer unto the Lord, man. It's the beseeching the Lord.
Speaking it into existence.
So that's right now, as well as all of that.
Yep.
This is the ask. This is the main version of the ask. To be out here in the highways and the byways, man. Asking the Lord to come and save us. The scripture says, how long, O Lord, man?
Yeah.
You know, we out here basically saying that, how long? You don't have us out here in these fucked up conditions. Come back. That's why, let's get it in the hold that. You can get it in Revelation, the end. In Revelation, like the last chapter and the last verse, even so come quickly, Lord.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole sum up of the Bible. Man. We're paying the punishment. Okay, we get it now. Even so, come quickly, Lord. That's what it's all about. Getting the hell out of here, man.
Give him no rest until he make Jerusalem and praising the earth.
Yeah. Like the last 2 verses.
Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me.
I'll read it quickly. Revelation chapters 22 and 20 says, he which testifies these things saith, surely I come quickly. Amen, even so come Yahushua and Mashiach.
Yeah, so he said, he that testifies, I come quickly. So the Lord says he's coming quickly. So on the earth, it's like, oh, year after year, whatever. But really, it's nothing, man. He said, even so, amen, so be true. Okay? They say, amen. You know, so be true, or let it be, that the Lord comes quickly. That's what it is, man. You know? So as the Lord is coming quickly, we're asking, man. Yeah. If someone's coming quickly and you ain't making preparations for it, then what's going on? You know? Well, anyways, that was just a quick point on that. What you have there.
Right, back to Revelation 11 and verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall send gifts to one another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Yeah, so those who stood upon their feet are the prophets, man. The breath, the life that entered into them is the Spirit, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to turn back to who we are, man. The Israelites, okay, not blacks, not Nubians, not what else do they say, man? Coloured, Garveyites, you know, followers of Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan, and all of that, man. Nah, man, coming back to the truth, okay? The breath had entered into them, all right? And they stood up on their feet, which is what we're doing now. We ain't sitting in no house, man. You know, you had guys talking. I caught one of them niggas, man. All right. I don't even want to go there, man. I don't even want to go there, bro.
You give us a little advertising now, man. Go on.
I caught one of them niggas in a Sainsbury's, man. Out there in South London, one of them apprentices of Ashan, right? And that's when they were still with him, and they weren't going out, man. I said, what the hell's going on? Why, you know, yeah, well, we're keeping it indoors for now. What do you mean you're keeping it indoors for now, man? In the comfort of your house, man. That's some bullshit. Now, all props to him. He departed and started going out.
Ooh.
Which is good, but now you gotta get the doctrine straight now.
Right.
You know? guys, hey man, check people's pages out and shit, you know, doing some off-key shit. Again, it's not about I'm an Israelite and going butt wild with I'm an Israelite. Yeah, you gotta get it straight, man. So all props to that dude I'm talking about. He left Ashan and then started going out. Now he's got his own group going, but you gotta get the doctrine straight, man.
Yeah, I know that.
You know, guys holding on to dreads and all kind of shit. Sticks, conducting Israelite weddings on YouTube, all kind of weirdo shit, man. The doctrine ain't straight, you know. Doing all kind of madness, man. You know, yeah, so man. Alright. Read that again, man.
Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High God entered into them. Revelation 11 and 11, and again, after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
We stood upon our feet, man. With our apostles and elders on down, man. We've been out here, man. Brothers been out here.
Doing the cyclic shuffle.
You know, you know, we out here, man, in the cold, man. You know, you got people rubbing their hands together. Oh, it's cold and shit. We out here, man.
Yeah. Not
You know,
playing the funk.
Yeah, we got, you know, put some extra layers on, get your winter coat out, the gloves on, you know. We out here, we standing upon our feet, man.
Crying aloud, yeah.
Okay?
And great fear fell upon
That's
them
why
which
these
saw them.
motherfuckers, they're out here like, oh, you know, who is that? Well, who are they? What are they doing? Yeah, because fear fell upon you, man, because you saw the men of the Lord, no matter what, preaching his word, man. Okay? So the breath is the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, which came into us, having been taught by men above us to be out here, man. Okay, and we don't take no breaks, man. In the spirit and power of the Lord, we don't take no breaks. Oh yeah, brother, it's coming on to November now, so we're going, you know, keep it indoors for now. You know, just do indoor sit downs. Nah, man, we're gonna be out here in the winter, man. All right, it gets colder in December, it gets colder in January. We're gonna be out here in the spirit and power of the Lord. Let's pull that in season and out of season, man.
The instant, yeah.
I've got one for you, yeah?
That diligent, we're gonna go there before we get anything else. But let me just finish this. That diligent spirit, man. We gotta pray for that to stay upon us, man. You know, okay. All that keeping it indoors for now, shit. Now, let's say we come out here like, you know, brothers. Let's say, you know, one of us drove or whatever. We came here, and there's torrential rain.
Yep.
All right. Oh, let's say that. Let's just say it's hard rain. We still gonna be out here in hard rain,
Yep.
even when it's raining heavy. But let's just say it's really torrential, real bad, man. You know, you're gonna get drenched. The camera's gonna get destroyed. You know, the sign gonna get fucking melted. You know, washed away and shit. Then we're gonna sit in the car and do a sit down. You know, but given harsh conditions, no matter what. Even when it was summertime, and that's harsh conditions.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
you know, you're sweating, you're losing water out of your body. You know, you start feeling weak, nauseous, headaches. You know, because that England sun's not enjoyable. It's like a microwave. There's no breeze, there's no nothing. So you're just there, fucking melting away, talking for 6 hours, man. So that's harsh conditions. But we were still out here. All right.
I say something about the shot. I've got the precept as well.
No, hold on. Before you say that, let Ariel read this.
Right, go. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, and straight to the point. 57 says, then answered, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight.
So this is the conditions of the battle, man. You know, you got all kind of demons. We was talking about it before we set up, man. You come out on these trains, you know, you're getting heart palpitations, your heart's racing, you know, you don't know what the hell is going on with these spirits. Like, well, you do know, but it's like, whoa, this is weird, man. Filth, you can, you know, feeding people spirits on them, you know, all kind of madness, man. And then they feel your spirit, and they can, you in a carriage, stuffed up like sardines next to people, and they're realizing there's something different about him, and look at you different. That's conditions of the battle. Coming out here in these elements, man. You know, demons messing with your mind, all kind of things, man. Pain, sicknesses. You know, I think I just felt a raindrop. Yeah,
I've got brollies.
You got brollies, okay.
So it comes down.
I felt a few conditions of the battle. Go on, that.
Yeah, so I'll read that one again, and then I'll carry on. It says, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say.
Yeah, so if the thing overcomes you, then you lost, man.
Yeah.
You fucking lost, man. You got guys that I don't go out as much and you know, you lost, man. You know, and we need to we're compassionate with each other, but again, we don't have that bullshit spirit, man, where anything goes, man.
Blowing smoke up people's backsides.
You know, you fucking lost.
Yeah.
And most I forbid the spirit is taken away from me, that the same thing would fall upon me. I would have lost. Most I forbid, man. You know, whatever the it's too cold outside. Remember there was a guy that was with us for like 1 week or so, man. 1 fucking week, and his auntie saw him out there in Peckham, man. And then he never came back, and then he reported to one of the brothers at the time, oh yeah, my aunt saw me and said if I'm out there, then, you know, there's gonna be repercussions, so I can't do it because my family member seen me. That's some bullshit, man. When I first came in the camp was right next to my house, man. Basically, man, at that time. Okay? You know, brothers been seeing family members, man. You know, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, okay? When I first came in the camp, we was at my doorstep, man. You know, literally 2 minutes away, my auntie lived there, man. My cousins used to walk past and shit. And I ain't saying, look at me, I stood firm. No, fuck me, I could have folded. It's the spirit of the Lord. Ultimately, why you don't fold is the spirit of the Lord. And why you do fold is the spirit of the Lord. It's if you're wanted or if you're not wanted. Alright, no. Before you let me finish this, go on now.
Yeah, just one more now, yeah? 2nd Ezra 7 and 59 now. For this is the life thereof Moses spoke unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live.
The verse before.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, the verse before, that's heavy.
58. For if ye be overcome, ye shall suffer as thou hast said.
Yeah, so if you're overcome by the temptation or the hardship, you've lost. You've lost, man. You know, you lose. That's it, but go on.
But if you get the victory, ye shall receive the thing that I say.
Which are the rewards if you get the victory, man. You know, you could be in the bed, you know, and it's like, oh, I've got to get up. Oh, fuck it, let me just stay in bed today. You know?
You were overcome.
Yeah.
You didn't overcome, you lost.
You were overcome.
Yeah, you were overcome and you lost. But then if you get your ass out the bed and come to the camp in the cold, then you shall get the victory when the Lord comes back, man.
That's beautiful, brother, because when the brother Caleb sent that message out today, he's running a bit late for camp. I was still in my bed.
Yeah.
And I had to fight to, you know what I mean? I had to fight to go up. I said, oh shit, I had to get up.
Yeah, hey, this brother called
You
me.
see what I'm saying?
He called me and said he's here.
Yeah.
And I just basically got out of
I'm
the shower,
telling you,
man.
brother, you see what I'm saying?
It was a struggle to
and because
get
you
out of
work
the
on
bed.
top of it too, that's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
another thing too.
Most I know is in the team.
So, you know,
You wake up, yeah, and it's like, man, and then you shake that spirit off of
you
you,
shake it off, brother.
you know, because hey, Lord willing, when the Yahweh Shai comes back, we get the victory. It's
Yeah.
speaking about.
Yeah.
It's all about you're overcome by the battle, you lose, or you overcome the battle, you gain the victory.
Yeah.
And
You know?
everything in this life is a battle.
It's a battle. The scripture says that them that got the victory.
If I could just say, yeah, it says in 57, for this is the condition of the battle. Now, to become one of any of the special forces, armies, army rangers, Navy SEALs, Green Beret, right? They put you through these courses And the objective to put you through the courses is, and they might get individuals that put little obstacles or conundrums in front of you to try and get you to quit.
Yeah.
The objective is to try and get you to quit.
Yeah.
Now, it could
Assault courses, right?
assault courses, obstacle courses, assault courses, all kinds of things, right? Mental challenges, physical challenges. Now, they're not looking for the most intelligent guy or the most physically muscly man. They just basically want the person that's not going to quit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for example, if you're a Navy SEAL, you got they put you through water challenges because they have a lot to do with water conditions and be able to have to survive. They may get someone to come down when you go into the water and take off your water apparatus. And they know they've been trained what to do, but they want to see what you do. When in reality, would he panic or would he just go back up and not put anything into practice?
Right.
So back to the spiritual warfare now. With Satan, you mentioned about the bed thing, right? And everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what thing they got. You just have to be aware that Satan's saying to me, he's going to try this.
Yeah.
But when he tries it, it's for me to get me to quit.
Yeah.
And
Simple as that.
in your mind, you're saying,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I know the game, I know the play, I know the ploy. He's trying to get me to quit. Now, you could be good at it, but he just wants you to quit.
Yeah.
And then once you quit now, as you said, them man that they've tapped out, man. Now, enough of them man they tapped out and had a lot of knowledge in their head, but they still tapped out. So the idea is that in your mind, as you said anyway, as we know, the elect ain't going to tap out. The elect ain't going to tap out. Lord willing, with those mended, we ain't going to tap out.
Can I back you up
Said
on
Baba
this?
Bishop.
Yeah.
But just
Go on, brother, go on.
quickly, brief, if I may. Proverbs 20 verse 4.
Tapping that spirit.
The sluggard will not plough by the reason of the cold.
Yes.
No. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Proverbs 20 and verse 4. The sluggard will not plough by reason of the cold.
Yeah, because you in the bed, man, the house is warm, the bed is warm, and then the thought of I gotta go shower, I gotta get dressed, and getting here is a battle in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The demons on the bus, the
Of
demons on the
course, yeah,
train,
yeah.
you know, then you have to come out here and stand out here. It's like, oh man. So the sluggard will not, what do you say?
The sluggard will not plough by reason of the cold.
Yeah, because plow is like farm work, man. You
Yeah,
gotta
man.
get them
Of
farmers.
course.
They get up early, man.
Yeah.
All 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They're
Yeah,
out
man.
there, you know, on the field,
Them
man.
farmers.
You know, they were just in the bed, but now they got to attend to the ground.
We're
So
spiritual
we're
farmers.
spiritual farmers. We're attending to the ground, man. Making sure that what the Father gave us and
Yeah.
Yahushua gave us, we're keeping it, man. You know. But the sluggard won't plow by reason of the cold. Meaning that the conditions weren't fair for him. You got
Right.
those fair weather Israelites, man.
Yeah.
You know, the springtime, man.
Fair weather.
Fair weather Israelites. You know, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's just about right.
Well, that's why the Apostle Paul
Yeah,
said it
that's-
to his disciples. He said, "He should word be instant in season,
out.
and out of season, and reprove and rebuke with all long suffering." So you're going to suffer this thing. While you're teaching, you're going to suffer this thing.
And I tell you something else, if you don't mind me intervening, yeah? Intervene. When it comes to this truth, man, you have to make up your mind.
Yes, you do.
You have to make up your mind. Can I Brother Kusha, can I bring up the scripture, please? Yeah? And it's the main thing. This is the main ultimate goal here. Revelations 12 and 11. And they overcame him by the blood. It's about not tapping out. You can't, in this
Yeah,
truth,
that's
brothers,
heavy,
we
that's it.
cannot tap out. You know what I mean? And they overcame him by the blood, because Yahushua has to be through you, of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
Yeah, but read that again, man. That's heavy, man.
Revelations 12 verse 11. And they overcame, not tapping out, him by the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach the Lamb.
Now hold that. Where was you at before we said they got the victory?
Oh!
Because Yahushua's got the victory, man. So if you're of Yahushua's, then you've got the victory. He said that in John 17, none of them which you gave me are lost. If you tap out, then you weren't of the Heavenly Fathers. That means Yahushua never had you, man. But because Yahushua, they said they overcame by the
Overcame.
by the blood of the Lamb.
Wow.
You got that up?
Yeah,
Verse
2 Ezra
go
7 and 57 says, 58, that if we be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if we get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
Now, who's the first to get their victory, man? It's Yahushua.
Yeah.
He's the first to get to receive the reward, man. So once he's received, then all those under him will
That's
receive,
it.
man. So when we overcome, it's not because I got it like that. It's by the blood of the Lamb.
That's it.
Really?
Through Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, go on, huh?
Book of Revelation 12 and 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their
By
lives.
the word of their testimony, which is this Bible, man. You know, here is the good way, walk ye in, man. You know, by following the scriptures, having faith in the Lord and doing the work, the scripture says that they were saved by their works and by their faith. You know,
like the woman.
putting it into practice and having faith that the Lord will sustain us and keep us to the end, all right, that is how we overcome. And they love not their lives unto the death, man. Meaning that, no, go on.
And by the word. And by the word.
And who is the word? The word is Yahweh Shai.
Hey, that's
John
a
1:1.
precept.
You know, in the beginning was the word, and the word was a power, and the word was with the Most High. All things were created by him, and through him nothing was made, that which was made, man. So the word is Yahweh Shai, the victory is Yahweh Shai, the overcoming is Yahweh Shai.
Yes,
man.
overcome.
That's why we're the elect. Lord willing, of that number, we're known as the body of Yahweh
Beautiful,
Shai.
beautiful, beautiful.
Because our success ain't because of us. And you know what? I fucked the bed demon today. I got out of that war bed. And I made it to the... No, it's not you. It's not me. It's Yahweh Shai that got you out of the bed, man.
That cuddling spirit.
Yeah.
Man's going to.
There's that Saturday morning bed demon.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know? The bed just seems extra comfortable that
On a
day.
Friday to Saturday night.
Oh,
It gets all the more
it's
soft.
always that cuddling spirit. All of a sudden, the pillow feels good. Yeah. All the feathers and the part in the pillow, you're flicking it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's lucky. Last week, I think I mentioned it to some of the brothers. Then. Last week it was so nice. You know what? I felt like there was a mild tremor.
Yeah, you said that.
I was thinking, let me go and check the news, man. It's like I felt a mild tremor, and I said, right, when I just went,
Yeah.
I got out this morning, like, man, it's sweet, man. You see, man.
Sweet, you
But, but that's now. As you back to what you said, the most. If you have that number, most like it's about you don't get the victory because you did it.
Yeah.
I'm so strong. I dealt with the demon. I overpowered it.
Man.
Most likely.
Got it in the chokehold.
Yeah, because you try and deal with a demon, yeah, and the demon will deal with you, man.
Big time.
You know, like, what was that? That demon said, Paul I know, the vagabond.
But who are you?
Who are you?
Who are
man?
you?
Yeah.
And the demons jumped on them and fucked them up, man.
Big
So
time.
like, we don't fight demons in our power, man. We fight these obstacles, like you're saying, the assault courses, the things that purposely are put in your path to try and throw you off. Or what's he gonna do here? Decision making.
Yes.
You know, you jump in the army, there's certain things that they check, man. Composure, discipline, decision making, you know, upset, reversal. You know, on standard it should go A, B, C, D, but what if it's mixed up? How well does he focus on rearranging things to make it right?
Yeah.
That's how
under
we got
pressure. How you perform
under pressure.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we're taught in the truth, man. Not everything's a plain sailing, man.
Yeah, man.
The scripture, let's pull that. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord,
Prepare thyself for temptation.
you know, the scriptures let us know from day one it's going to be upset training, man.
Yeah.
It's gone wrong, how do you make it right?
Aye.
You make it right through the one who overcame first.
Yeah, man.
Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, man. And these demons are intelligent, man, because I tell you something, when one come and you try to beat him down, he go anyway for 2 seconds, you know, and he's come back with another one.
Yeah, but
And-
the demon,
and demon,
it means intelligent.
And intelligent. And when he got third one, he's coming and foot. I tell you, he's not giving up, man.
Because the idea is in these back to this illustration. The idea is if you don't quit in the contest, in the training, right? You most likely you're hired. They hire you.
Yes.
You didn't quit. Most likely in the heat of battle, under pressure, you won't quit. So they say this is the soldier we want. And all them big soldier man, them big muscle man, some of them,
man.
nah, he quit. You know, he ain't good under pressure. Which some of them are strong, but under pressure they might not perform. So that's the idea. When we get these trials, we all have ours.
Yeah.
How we gonna? Yo, what's this going on there?
Yeah,
Under pressure,
yeah.
you're thinking,
Yeah,
you're
man.
trying to be in the zone, even under pressure.
Yeah,
We
man.
spoke about the zone last week.
last week. Yeah.
True,
Go on,
brother.
read that.
True.
Right, this is Surah 2 from verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Upset training, man. Like in aviation, you learn, you get in a simulator. Before you actually get in a real aircraft, you get in a simulator and stuff. You know, and they're always teaching you how to react for things going wrong.
Yeah, man.
Not about, oh yeah, you know, you take off and then you landing gear up and you get to cruising speed, and that's easy. Anyone can do that, man. The majority of your training is for situations when things go horribly wrong. So when they do, you know what to do, man. You know? So it tells you, my son, when you come to serve the Lord, don't prepare for no, you know, smooth sailing, like we were saying earlier, the whistling spirit, the skipping spirit, tapping your feet together. Nah, man.
Christian spirit.
The Christian spirit, the Lord says, prepare your soul for temptation, man. You know, that things are gonna go wrong. Go on.
And when things go wrong, it makes the heart better.
Beautiful.
And that's what the Most High wants to do. He wants to make us. He wants to make the church perfect. So when he comes back, they're fully set in their mind through the Spirit, most important, to receive their salvation. You know. So that's what I have to say.
And this is why we have to. This is why we have to love our beloved brother Elder Apostle Tahar, because he said that when you come into this truth, you must learn to love the pain. He said, I can't remember the word for word, but he said you must learn to love
Love the pain.
the pain.
He also said,
It's something like that. He said.
be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, that too. He said too. He said that too.
Elder Apostle Gabar said that.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on, let Caleb finish on this one.
Right, read it again. This is Surah 2 from verse 1. I'm going to make an interesting observation here. My son, thou come to serve the Lord. In that verse, it says Lord with small caps. So it's talking about Yahweh Shai. If thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in times of trouble.
Yeah, let's talk about Yahweh Shai. Alright? In fact, hold that. Get the account where Satan messed with the Lord in the wilderness, Matthew 4. Because that was at the beginning of the Lord's ministry, man. He just finished got baptized by his cousin John, and then he went to the wilderness, and straight away, as soon as he actually started his ministry, straight away Satan came to him, man.
But that was his start. That was his beginning.
That was the beginning of actually teaching the word, man. He got baptized and then he left, and the Spirit led him into the wilderness, and boom, what's the first thing that came to him? You know, well done, brother. You know, you actually starting now, and nah, man.
Yeah.
That Christian shit. You go on that the little swimming pool thing, and everyone's shaking your hand and hugging you, man.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you got baptized. You
You're
know,
new,
every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. No, not according to the scriptures, man. As soon as you come into it, Satan gonna jump on your ass.
Straight away, brother.
Yep.
And
that is very true.
yeah,
Go on.
I'll read it. I don't think Satan wasn't watching. Satan was like laying back in the cut watching. As soon as he got the green light, jumped on him.
Yeah, because Satan was hoping the Lord never started his ministry. Okay? Satan wanted to take him out when he was born. That didn't work.
Herod, yeah.
You know, through Herod. You know, best believe Yahushua never had, like, we didn't have no, you know, smooth playing and upbringings. Brothers went through all kind of things. You think the Lord never went through all kind of things, man? You know, the scriptures tell us that he was a carpenter under his father, Joseph. You know, but he would probably been experiencing things, all kind of, you know, but then Satan was looking at him like, well, he ain't started yet.
Yeah.
He ain't started yet. Man, this nigga's 29, he ain't started yet. You know, then the Lord hit 30 and started saying, oh shit, now I gotta jump on him for real, because now he's in the truth. You know, and it's the same thing with us, man.
Yeah.
Satan be watching you in the background your whole goddamn life, man. Just like the weird bystanders, like.
And he's ready to pounce him.
Yeah, like, he ain't really doing nothing, man.
Yeah.
But as soon as, you know, oh, you go on YouTube or you walk past the camp, oh, Israelite, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, you know, 12 tribes, I'm an Israelite. Satan, oh shit, gotta get that nigga.
Yeah.
You know, he assigns demons, man. Make that wrong. Go make that wrong.
Yeah.
That's the scriptures going, huh?
He's like the spiritual sabotager.
Yeah.
like they showed you that in the Passion of the Christ, man. When he was in the Garden of Gethsemane praying, they had Satan with that fucking baby walking past like this.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And the snakes on the ground
And snakes on the ground and shit. That I mean, they ain't going off.
Yeah.
The Lord would have been seeing apparitions and demons and all kind of stuff in that garden, man. You know, but Satan was watching him. Like, yeah, he gonna tap out. And then they did it again. remember in the whipping scene,
Yeah, he's
when they
walking
had
through
his
the
mum
crowd,
behind the barrier and all the people watching him get flogged, right? And then they had Satan there again, like, because hey, the Lord could have tapped out then. Nah, man, fuck this. It's too much pain. I ain't going to the cross anymore. Best believe, up until the Lord gave his last breath, he could have tapped out.
Easy.
And if the Lord tapped out, then again, like you read in what was that?
Second
Ezra's,
7.
then he would have been overcome.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't have got the victory. That's
it.
why it's important, man. You know, you read about the Lord's crucifixion, yeah? It's important to look at all points. He said, he gave a loud cry and said, it's finished.
Yep.
Then he died.
Yeah.
Because up until the point of the Lord dying, he could have been like, nah. Then the whole preaching for 3 years would have been in vain.
Yeah.
All the miracles would have been in vain. Getting whipped would have been in vain.
And he gave up at that last moment.
You know, carrying the cross would have been in vain. Imagine, he actually got whipped, a crown of thorn on him, carried the cross, got nailed to the fucking cross, but on the cross, oh no, fuck this. What's that in today's terms? The chip. That's the chip, man. That's the chip.
Yeah,
oh no, I'm an Israelite.
Yeah.
I'm in the truth.
Yeah.
I go to the camp, I do my videos. Okay, nigga, you gotta take this chip. Oh, okay, I'll take it. Your whole ministry's in vain.
Yeah, all of it. No, but it's true because when you think about it, yeah, it's a fact. Because you did all of this, you went through all of the ups and downs, emotional struggles, ups and downs.
Came all that way.
Came so far away, just so you can give up the last minute. Nah, man. Anyway, you going, bro.
That's a beautiful point that the brother Urami is making, because remember, he went through all of that stuff as well, but the ultimate thing he had to go through was the Most High turning his back on him. That was the last.
Yep.
That was the last one. He had to endure that.
Yeah.
And what does he say? My father, why has thou forsaken me?
Yeah.
And that's when I mean, imagine that, man. You go through all that stuff, and the last thing you're holding on to is that connection with the Heavenly Father.
Yeah. And
that's
he's
gone.
turning his back. Yeah.
See, this is the ultimate story of the hero.
Yeah.
You see, the hero always overcomes the villain.
Oh.
And Esau's the great villain, but Yahushua overcame. So he's the great example that we're supposed to look to. I mean, this is the thing. You don't enter a fight not wanting to win. So if you're coming into this thing, you got to be like, yeah, man. Like, for example, we're talking about coming out. I love coming out, man. Coming out to do the work, because it's like, what soldier trains to go to war, and then when the battle's like, no, I'm gonna keep it indoors for now. No, you want to get out there and use what you've learned. So this is the fun part, man. I mean, anyway.
So the point is, when was the elect made safe? When Yahushua died.
That's it.
That's when the elect was really solidified, man.
Covered by the blood of the Lamb.
That's why it said, death, where is thy sting?
Right.
And oh grave, where is thy victory? Because that all goes back to sin.
That's deep.
Up until the Lord actually gave up the spirit on the cross, it was 50-50, man. And Satan's like, man, if I can get him, I can get him. But when the Lord gave up that ghost, like they say, gave up the ghost, gave up the spirit, and that's a done deal now.
Through him we all live.
We all live, man.
Yeah, it took one
And through his
man.
blood, because he shed all that blood for us. And he was bleeding on the cross.
Yeah. And like I was gonna say, it took one man that sin entered into the world, and it took one man that life entered into the world.
Yeah.
So that's Yahushua. But going back to what you were saying, brother, about how Yahushua is the ultimate example, or the author and the finisher of our faith. Because when you read the story of Yahushua, right, as you elaborated on the part where he could have just said, you know, friggin', I'm done. It's when the Most High gave up on it. So that tells us that even when it feels like it's over, we still got to move forward.
Yeah.
Because that time is going to come where they're going to initiate that mark.
True words, Elder.
And you have to be ready and willing to give everything up.
Yep.
Even if it feels like, man, I don't even know if I'm going to do this, you still move forward.
Yeah.
Because that spirit of doubt is going to come in. But that's heavy you speak about the chip, because I want to talk about something that I found out. And all of these world leaders have already signed in with the World Economic Forum about these sticky Vicky passports. So, and as well as America, they're looking to do the same thing too. They're looking to do this. So what I'm going to pass to you brothers the article that I found. Actually, I got it right here.
I haven't got any data on my phone, so I probably won't receive it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass it to you. Yeah, so this let me see that. Yeah, there's another one I want you to read. I want you to read this first though. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yeah, it's in the G20 WhiteHouse.gov. I'll tell you where to start reading that. Because there's so many different points on this. Yeah, this one over here, the G20. And start at point 23, because it's like, I think it's like 80 points or something like that. But we just get to the point we come. Yeah, so I mean,
Sorry, the second one, right?
the second one, yeah.
Point 83.
Yeah, point 23.
23 can't. Right.
Yeah, so you can read from. Yeah, just read the whole thing.
Oh, from the top.
Yeah, from 23. Point 23.
All right, so this
No.
is
From point 23.
All right, so this is from the World. What's it called? Yeah,
The
WH.
WhiteHouse.gov.
Oh, WhiteHouse.gov G20 Bali Leaders Declaration. Now at where are we at? Point 23. Oh, this is a long ass document. Shit. Right. We're just waiting to. Yep. Here we go. Point 23.
What you could do is start from the next sentence. We support. Is what they're gonna do is, as Biden already declared, he declared that he's signed. He's gonna. I mean, I don't know if he's going to do it or he's already done it already. Come on, go on, brother.
So this is from an extract from point number 23, and it says we support the WHO mRNA vaccine technology transfer hub as well as all the spokes in all regions of the world with the objective of sharing technology and technical know-how on voluntary and mutually agreed terms. We welcome joint research and joint production of vaccines, including enhanced cooperation among developing countries. We acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods under the framework of the of the IHR 2005 to facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital.
Meaning to control travel. So, for example, and they spoke about this like a year ago, or maybe a year before that, 2 years ago, about those that haven't received the sticky Vicky, right, as I'm gonna call it. And if you didn't have that sticky Vicky, then you were not certified to basically travel. So they're gonna bring this back. But what I also want to say is the fact that they could use this thing to where they could prohibit you from traveling, period. Okay? They can go from you can't travel to go to a different country to traveling just basically like everybody else within a country.
Using public transport.
Yeah. So it's gonna get to that point. Because once Esau brings in this certificate, this sticky Vicky certificate, and all of that, then how far else is he gonna take?
Right.
Go on, bro.
Second Ezra's chapter 15 and 17. Spirit. A man shall desire to go into a city
There you go, brother.
and shall not be able.
Yeah, man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And as we always talk about how you had this situation that we was under the lockdowns, we can only but go out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
We wasn't able to go out free as we would like to prior before it came. So they're gonna set something up, man. And what I also had found out, is that they're saying that bats can bring things.
Angry bats.
Yeah, angry bats can spread the new panic, can spread a new variant around. Because Esau, they're desperate, man, and they gotta get this thing up and popping. Like what's the name just passed away? What's the dude's name, man?
Evelyn.
Yeah, Evelyn.
Yeah.
Some brothers call him Evelyn, I call him Evelyn. But he passed away, and they want to see the new world system in operation. And also, the same man that's the head of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, he went to Bali in Indonesia, and he said something to the effect of we need to restructure our society. I'm saying it in my own words, but that's what he basically was saying. And he didn't really want, and I mean, he could have just said, look, we need a great reset, because that's the slogan anyway. But he didn't use that slogan, he had to say something else. Because that term is associated with the old school term, the NWO, basically, which is what they want to formulate. All right. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna come up with some nonsense, some psychological aberration, and that's gonna propel. And as you read, I mean, just to back up a little bit, when you read point 24, it actually says that the C-19 lockdown accelerated the digital technology. So if you got some more, brother, read on that.
Right, and it says, right, and it
read
says,
that same part.
okay, it says we support the WHO mRNA vaccine technology transfer hub as well as the spokes in all regions of the world with the objective of sharing technology and technical know-how on voluntary and mutually agreed terms. We welcome joint research and joint production of vaccines, including enhanced cooperation among developing countries. We acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods under the framework of the IHR 2005.
Yeah, under that law, which goes into how they
Hold
can
it for a minute. I've got an idea.
facilitate or control
One second.
people that go in and out through like airports and spaces like that, and to see if to basically, in other words, give certificates to those that have received the what. All right, and if those that have not received the what, they can't travel. That's what the law of 2005 goes to. But I'm simply breaking it down how I remember it. Go on, brother.
To facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital solutions and non-digital support continued, and international dialogue and collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health networks as part of the efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics.
Right. What is it to strengthen and to prevent future pandemics? So even though we know the deal, because the thing of it is, people obviously, and it's not for them to be so bright. Mosai gave us that mentality, or as well as the Holy Spirit to foresee what's to come.
That's better. But I'm not
The
going to see
majority
you
of the people, they're just swaying around and going
You
about
got used to
this.
that.
They
I'm
don't
going to
really
cross
know
you.
the depth and the evil of their government. But we know what's going on and what their plans are. So we know that they're going to do something and lie to the people and create this traumatic
because that's cloth.
create this traumatic story, and they push that story over and over again, and it's gonna bring about this situation. All right, because right now people can travel up and down the place without having to get that certificate.
Take that off.
But when they push that, and that's already basically being facilitated, guess what? Like I've said, and I'm gonna say this again. They're gonna use this thing and say that, look, this law, they're gonna say that, look, you can't go outside, you can't go among the people or public arenas. Just like back in I was reading an article, even in some area within the AU, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
I believe it was in Dubai, somewhere, and it was some time ago, man. It might have been about last year, but the article involved how people could go into public areas like your mosques, your malls, and everything of that nature, unless they had that certificate.
You got that green
As I can
tie
remember.
thing?
Hold on. It was, I literally had it there. I literally had it.
Continuing on in this article, it says,
Right, hold that.
we support continued international dialogue and collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health networks as part of efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics, and should capitalize and build on the success of the existing standards and digital C-119 certificates. Now we're on point 24.
Yeah.
And it's
and be coded with this one, brother.
And it says the C-19 pandemic has accelerated the transformation of the digital ecosystem.
Right. So there you go. So they're telling you right there that they've used this situation that we was in 2 years ago to accelerate the digital world. And I just did a brief video on what Klaus Schwab was saying. Klaus Schwab said that China is the role model. You see how the Chinese government got the people on the straight, on the straight conditions, with the social credit score system, and got them on the constant lockdowns. And they're paying them people dirt cheap, working them in these large facilities, sweatshops basically. So that's the way they want to set up the world. And this is the way they want to set up the Western world, where people are just working. People are just dumb out here working and just working to build on the interests of those that are in that position of power. That's why he said, Klaus Schwab himself, he said that China is the role model. So they want everybody to be on the straight conditions. Or in other words, communism. Extreme high levels of communism is what they want. All right, because this devil, again, he wants to see this world play out. He wants to see himself exalted. And most importantly, he wants to gather all nations to himself.
Is that one big or small?
All right, under these strict conditions. So brother, we can't get to chapter 2.
Okay.
Because the scripture says that he's not desired. 2, verse, what is it, 5? I think it's verse 6.
I'll read it, right? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6 says, shall not all these take up a parable against him?
Verse 5, try to respond.
Yea, also because he hath transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. He enlargeth his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathers together him all nations.
And that's the plan. And just like what Herod the king, Nimrod did back during the time of Genesis, the 11th chapter. What did he do? He gathered all of the nations together in building this tower so that they can stake a claim saying that, look, we're a people as one. That's what Esau wants to do. And then at the same time, control them in many different various ways and to monitor. This is why they set these different these towers and all of that stuff. Exactly. Why? So that they can gather all of this data about you and possibly predict criminal activity and these kind of things. So overall, it's just a world where they're going to restrict your freedoms. And this is why they're using Kanye West and many other celebrities. And you got people talking about this Israelite thing, right? Saying that, oh yeah, this guy, he made an anti-you-know-what statement. So there's a reason for all of this. And the reason for this is to clamp down on freedoms, where they have all of the power and they can determine whether you are able to say what you want to say or not. And if it goes against the establishment order, then pretty much we're going to X you out of the system. And this is what they need. This is why they want everybody to be implanted. Because overall, really what it is going back to what you just read, Esau is unsatisfied. Esau has all of the power that he has already. So what more power does he need? But see, the Most High is messing with his mind so that prophecy can be fulfilled, so that he can get this mark going and we can get the hell out of here. Okay, go on, brother.
Gathereth to himself all nations and keepeth unto him all people.
And keepeth unto him all people. That's what he wants. He wants all people. Jeremiah 49 and you can't, brother. Give me Jeremiah 49 and I believe it's verse 12, maybe it's verse 10, something like that, where it reads, boy, you can get it too, brother. Where it reads, if these came to gather grapes, would he have not left one for thee? Something like that. Because that's this devil's mentality. This devil's mentality is to get everything to himself and to gather all people unto himself. Because according to Esau, we're not human beings. We're none of those things to him. We're not human beings to him. We're valuable resources. We're assets. That's why he throws music videos out there to make you stupid, and also even the food in your stores are corrupted. And all of that is to make you sick and so that you could be of a low degree. Once he got you on that lower degree, he can more effectively control it. And this is the world they want to set up. Where you're just a goddamn robot. You know what I'm saying? Like you walking and you're not even thinking for yourself. That's what they want. But you're gonna have the elect that are not gonna bow the knee to the image of Baal and receiving that mark. Because going back to what you were saying, we've already overcame through Yahweh Shah. All right? That's why we're standing up right now, because we're in a different spirit. We don't fear the spirit of this world. We fear the spirit of Yahweh Baal Shah. That's who we fear. Go on, brother.
I've got 9. Jeremiah chapters 49 and verse 9 to start. Talks about the grapes, yeah?
Yes.
Says, if gatherers came to thee, would thou not leave some gleaning grapes?
Yeah.
If thieves by night, they shall destroy till they have enough.
Right. They shall destroy until they have enough. So they're gonna keep destroying until they get what they want. Because ultimately they're not satisfied. And as you just read, would he not leave not one grape? So we're just things thieves. So we're just product. We're a human resource. So he needs to gather all of these resources together as much as possible. Because what they don't want is they don't want a group of people with a different idea. That's a threat to their establishment. That's why on YouTube you can't say what you really would like to say, and that gets exposed to the forefront on the public. That's why they suppress your content. So if they're able to do this on a virtual scale, just imagine what they could do to you when they got you implanted. How they could suppress you better. So let's just say you have an idea, you want to formulate some kind of a gathering, get-together group. They could just cut your shit off, man. Cut your chip off, and you're out the system. So this goes into Esau wanting to be satisfied or feel comfortable in his spirit, gathering everybody together, and then at the same token, he can exalt himself like he's above everything else and above the Most High. Go on, brother.
We are talking about it earlier about making examples of people. Esau's trying to do that with the chip on the left-hand side. They've got that Black Mirror episode where there was this celebrity dude, but he had like opposing views to the rest of society. So what they did was they exploded the chip in his head, and he started bugging out, and then he basically died. And that was a Black Mirror. It's like a futuristic show to show you all the things that could happen in the future. And everyone was chipped, and he had different views to the rest of the world. So they made the thing explode in his head, and he died on the spot.
And that's what they can be able to do. They can get to that level. And what I've also speaking about that, brother, I've even seen videos, man, where they've said, this is years ago. There's a video out there where I heard that they can actually release the cyanide in that chip, and it goes into your bloodstream. And then when it goes into your bloodstream, you're dead. So they could do all kind of nonsense with that technology, boy. You know what I mean? And just like you said, they can make a prime example of those that speak up against the system. You know, so go on, brother.
That's an interesting point, because remember, they want to use it to monitor people's medical situations. So what's to say that they can't cause an anomaly to take place in your body via that chip? Like, you might be very healthy, but it's possible that they can say, for example, induce a heart attack. So when you drop dead from a heart attack, people think, oh, we just had a heart attack, but not knowing what was the cause behind it. Because they'll be able to control you completely.
And I mean, like, just like, for example, you had this one guy, this comedian, what was his name, man? What was his name? Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac.
Oh yeah, he died, didn't he?
Yeah, they said he died of a cardiac arrest or something. But in some cases, what they do to these celebrities, they got implantable devices to where they can trigger certain health conditions to kill them, basically. You know, just like Fat Joe, he showed you in that song Lean Back, where in order for you to get in that particular club, you needed to have that device on, so to speak. So Esau's been showing you through videos, movies and films, program predicting is called, so that he can get your mind ready for the future. And technically, you can't really say Esau didn't let you know, because he did let you know in these films. Even this whole thing about the virtual reality, they've made all kind of films about that. throughout the 90s and the early 2000s. You know, so Esau never really lied. He just told you the truth in plain sight when you couldn't see it. Go on, brother, you got something.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah 49 and 10 now. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his sacred places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. Like, we know what these devils are all about. We didn't have to be in the secretive rooms that they get into to finding out what they're trying to do. We already know what they're gonna do. Because what they're doing is already written in prophecy. All right, let me say that again. Whatever the thing it is that they're doing was already written that they was gonna do that. So they can't really hide from us. They can hide from the rest of the world, but they can't hide from the elect, because the elect already got their numbers, so to speak. But yeah, now if you can, brother, read the other article. So when you look at what's written in what is it, the whitehouse.gov, they're in agreement with what the World Economic Forum is doing. So it seems to be, well, it's not that it seems to be, it's going to be the case that Joe Biden is going to sign the country away so that they can get down to business. Go on, Greg.
This is from the Liberty Council, and it says world leaders agreed to implement vaccine passports. 17th of November 2022. The leaders from 20 countries at the recent G20 summit signed a declaration which states they agreed to adopt vaccine passports.
All of these countries are looking to adopt all of these passports. They're all in agreement. Go on, brother.
To facilitate all international travel.
In other words, to control. Go on, brother.
The current membership of the G20 accounts for more than 66% of the world's population, and includes Argentina. Lists all the countries.
Yeah. And
then it says the 2-day summit concluded in Bali, Indonesia, yesterday, and consisted of talks between the G20 member countries. Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum chair, also attended. The G20 Bali leaders declaration signed leaders from all countries included a section of S23 on facilitating seamless international travel. It acknowledged the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods, which include vaccine passports.
Yeah, and that's what, this is what they want to try, because we thought, by the looks of it, it was all done. This whole variant that's flowing around in the air was all through and finished. But they're saying, look, we gotta get into this passport thing. Because ultimately, like I said, they're going to use that travel. They're going to use that travel certificate in other places. They could possibly say, as I'm going to say the third time, you can't step outside your house unless you have that certificate. Go on, brother. Supermarket. Yeah, you can't go in a supermarket or any market. You can't even get to that. The little store around around the corner store where you live at. They may even set up systems where you can't even go in them bad boys. You know what I'm saying? So if you can, brother, go back to 2nd Ezra 16. Yeah. Actually, you can only but do so much. You let him get it.
16, yeah.
The one that you just read, where it reads, just read it. A man shall desire to go into
the sea. Oh, yeah.
And also, not only we're coming into that time, but also we're coming into the time of temptation, where everybody is going to have to come under that technology in order for them to go by in this society. As we just read, though, how many countries?
66.
No, we read 66%. That makes it 66% of the population.
We need to pull that exact number. I believe it was 23. Let me see something. It says here, no, it's the S23, and the numbers was. So this is from 20 countries.
20 countries.
20 countries, yeah.
The water, brother. Yeah, so you got 20 countries, and it's not even just 20 average countries. These are the big ones. These are countries that they need so that everybody can get on board. Because once these major countries get on board, obviously the little small countries are gonna have to get in line too. So this is a worldwide thing that they're setting up, right? And it's not gonna just be, oh yeah, I can't travel because, in other words, when I'm saying travel to a different country, it's gonna be all kinds of base of travel. Whether you're getting on the bus or whether you're getting on the train, they're gonna knock all that out to you. If you don't have that mark, go on, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 17. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
No, it should not be able. Go on.
For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And you know what's gonna happen too? Those that have taken the stick and Vicky, they're gonna be more upset than anything else. Because they've already did what they were told. And they got the ill results that they got. And some of them have already, a lot of them actually have already died. And the deaths just keep going up and up and up. But those that haven't died already, they're gonna die. And they feel their bodies acting up and everything in different various ways. So when they tell people to do what they gotta do again, they're gonna get really upset. So their New World Order agenda is not gonna move forward as they would like it to. Yeah. All right, because there's people out here, they know that they're gonna wind up dying eventually. Yeah. So their thing is, you know what? I'm gonna just go down to the gusto and just cause a mayhem. And this is what's gonna happen. Yeah. When society wants people to be under these restrictions.
Yeah, under pressure.
Under pressure.
If I could just say, in the purple people, them IUIC, 24 under the responsibility of Nathaniel, because he said they should take it. He said it out of his own mouth. 24 of his people them dropped dead. 24 of them. And while I was waiting for the brothers, them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because Apostle Harp makes mention of that. The elders, the apostles make mention of that under his watch. So they listen to him, man. And while I was waiting earlier on today, I see Jake. You can see he was messed up, but it was the dragon juice, man. You know what I mean? And you know when someone's got that what's that word, man? Bell palsy, and their body is all out of sync. They can't walk straight. And he had Edomite woman was helping him cross the road and helping him. Yeah. He might have been alright. I was visualising that maybe he was alright last year with that said girl. That said girl was with him, the Edomite girl, and she's staying with him, bearing up with him, but she ain't gonna be able to take it for much longer. No. The man can't, you know what I'm saying? The man can't function like he used to do. Young guy, you know, probably not even 20, probably only just late teens. So this dragon juice thing, as you back to your point, man, if you ain't dropped dead yet, you're getting the symptoms. It's starting to show more and more symptoms.
Yeah. And it's beautiful, right? Because the elder Laban said something about 3 weeks ago. He said back in the day, people never used to use walking stick. Yeah. You remember you saying that a couple of weeks ago? Yeah. But now everybody's using walking stick now, and it's true what he's saying.
And it's people my age, his brother's age, and younger. Walking sticks.
Walking sticks.
Never seen that before.
No, back in the day. Back in the days, you didn't see much.
Man, like the only person you see with a walking stick is someone that's like in the 80s.
80s or something, yeah.
Born in late 70s.
Yeah,
now some 23-year-old.
That's pathetic, man. 23 in a walking stick.
That's madness, bro. Like, come on.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, so back in this article, right, and it says the G20 Bali Leaders Declaration signed by leaders from all the countries included a section 23 on facilitating seamless international travel. It acknowledged the importance of shared technical standards and verification methods, which include vaccine passports. It also includes the leaders' support continued international dialogue and collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health networks that should capitalize and build on the success of existing standard.
And as well as what I can't forget, what we can't forget, is this whole digital ID thing. Because I have a list. One of the brothers have sent this list, and it lists what the next agendas are. And you know, down here within Europe, or to be exact, down here in the UK, which is where we're at. As I've just watched this what is it? This show that they had on, showing people going through hard times, and this one guy came up and he said, basically, we could almost wind up in a 1970s style recession, or something to the effect. He said that we're in the process of that, but if it gets worse, it can wind up in the 1930s way of setting up a recession. So the thing of it is, what they're saying is that or as I read, my head ain't really working today, man. Just bear with me, brothers. But yeah, that's what I read. There's a list of agendas, right? So you have recession, and then the next thing is going to be what? Digital ID. So the next thing in line now is possibly going to be something surrounding what we just read. As we just read to you, how all these nations, 20 countries, have signed that they're down with this travel certificate thing. Okay, I don't want to use the V word because it could end up messing with the line. So I gotta be coded with how I say how I'm saying it, basically. You know. So yeah, this is the thing. It's what they want to do is they want to bring society to a digital age now. So they're gonna blame it on the fact that, oh yeah, see, the currency's all messed up. We're under a recession. The economy's all messed up.
We need a great reset.
So we need that reset, and that's going to be that digital system. All right, that's what they're doing right now. So we're in that transition phase from the old world system to the digital system. And they got everything planned out. They got the infrastructure, they got the technology. All they need is another scenario to mix something up and then take that in, bad boy. You know, take that bad boy in. And that's what I meant to say. Anyway, brothers, go back to the precepts. If you got some.
Yeah, I got. Carry on reading this one. Jeremiah.
And also somebody get Revelations 3 and verse, I think it's 15.
Yes, so in 12 of Isaiah 49, it says, For thus saith the Lord, behold, thy whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, have surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it.
Yeah, and they're gonna drink of all of the iniquities that they have done. They're gonna get that payback. Just like it says in the Apocrypha, the Lord dealeth with the nations till they come to the heightness of their sins. So Esau is going to come to the apex of his sins, and then that's when the Lord is going to judge him after every ill deed that he has done. As it is written in the book of, I think it's in the book of Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 20, or Jeremiah, something like that. I get them mixed up. But it talks about how the transgressions was heavy upon this place. So every transgression that Esau committed, he's going to pay for that. So I mean, if the nuclear destruction wasn't enough, they're still going to have to pay for other things that they did even into the kingdom. All right? And the Lord is going to show how much he hates Esau. Go on,
30. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste.
And this vision is going to come to pass. So, how do we know about a simple fact that this is going to happen? Because what the Lord does, the Lord makes things happen in the minds of the prophets by giving them these visions. And then they tell the vision, and then it comes to pass.
Yeah.
So it may pass in like 1,000 years later, or maybe 200 years later. However it comes to pass, but it's going to come to pass.
Yeah, as long as it comes to pass.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it may not come when people expect it, but it's going to come when the Most High wants, where He wants it to come. As it's written also that there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. Roughly paraphrasing the scripture. You know, you're going on.
14. I have heard a rumor from the Lord. and an ambassador he's sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her. Rise up to the battle.
Yeah, that's going into something else. And yeah, so get Revelations 3.
I got that.
Oh, you got that? Go on, bro. And then give me Matthew.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. And it
Matthew
says,
19.
I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Yeah, so I mean, that's not really the one that I wanted, but I could build on that. You gotta be hot in the street. Especially right now, like this is not the time to be in the middle. Lukewarm, like you gotta be in this thing right now. If you're not in this thing and your whole heart ain't into this thing the way it's supposed to be, then you've already lost the battle. Because now we're in the very end of this world. The same end of the world that we was talking about is already hit. All right, so yeah, go and get the temptation, brother. I think it's in verse 10.
Right. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, and it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
And the temptation is going to come by that little small implant. And your life is going to, you're going to have to make that decision. Are you going to take that implant so that you can keep everything that you have and be in that comfortability? Or you're going to lose all of that and be uncomfortable for a short moment to receive everlasting life and receive all the comforts from the Heavenly Father? Because eventually, this is what's going to happen over here, man. The disciples, which is what we are in the reincarnation, which the term disciple just means to be disciplined. This is what we're going to have to do in order for us to obtain that eternal weight of glory Paul was talking about, and as well as other things which come about the kingdom. Go on, brother.
Matthew chapters 19 and 27 says, then answered Peter and said unto him, behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
Yep.
What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the generation, when the Son of Man shall sit in the thrones of glory, ye shall also sit down upon 12 tribes, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
And that's if you forsake all. That's what was told him. So that time is coming. And that's going to be that temptation. And this goes right in line with what the brother was talking about how we've already overcame by the blood of the Lamb. Yahushua, he overcame death. Yeah. So we're going to overcome what we have to overcome. All right? Because you have to exchange. If you want the kingdom, you got to exchange your life for it. Yahushua gave up his life for us, so we got to give up our life for the sake of what he's going to give us. Everything has a price to it. Nothing is free. Okay? And this kingdom of heaven thing, man, that we're teaching about, or we want, is going to have to require your life.
Yeah, because Yahushua laid down his life for us. We have to also lay down our life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God, as it is written.
Yeah.
The servant is no greater than his master. So if our master is Yahushua, he went through things, then we have to go through things in like manner.
Appreciate it.
You know? Go on, brother.
Matthew 6 and start from 32, it says, for after all these things do the Gentiles seek. Let me put 31. Wherefore take no note, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or whatsoever shall we be clothed.
Yeah, and then saying that too, food is not going to be easily accessible. You're not going to go in these stores to get your food. You're going to lose that ability. So you're going to just be out here wondering, or if not, you're going to be in a concentration camp. Or if that's not the case, you're going to be in a concentration camp getting ready to be beheaded. It's either one of the three. But we all have to have the mindset that we don't have a life here for one, and that we have a life elsewhere. And knowing that we have no choice but to move forward. Because what we're trying to hold on to is basically nothing. Yeah. You're out here Society got us looking crazy out there. People got the wrong view of us and everything else. We got to work like slaves all day, every day. So I'd rather die being knowing that I'm going to be a king.
Wow, beautiful.
Knowing that I'm going to see the Most High and all of these different beautiful things.
Sit at the table, drink the wine.
Because we know who we are and we know what our destiny is going to be. So I'd rather get to that than anything else. And I pray that the Most High gives me more faith and more courage to overcome these things. Because maybe I don't have enough faith.
Beautiful word.
Because it's going to get really bad out here. Yeah. Go on, brother.
This is to say, Elder Apostle Tahar spoke to a brother, a high brother. He mentioned the name, but I can't recall the name. But he said the brother had a vision, and he said he saw a lot of those camps taking, you know, the MOTB. And they asked him, is there anyone in GMS taking it? And he said he didn't see no faces, but he says, yeah, there was some in GMS that took the MOTB. So that what came to me after I heard that, I said, boy, you know what? I said, it's not about because you're under the banner of GMS. Yeah. You have to make sure we have to, as we're doing now, just keep our shit wired tight, as the youngsters say. Make sure we're keeping our shit wired tight, continue doing what we've been doing, like keeping up with the videos. And there's a precept in reading on down in Matthew 6. It says, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you.
Yeah, so everything that you want, whether it's like Benjamin said, whether it's Yahweh, you know, or whether it's you know, a wealthy lifestyle, whatever it is, you're gonna get that by the abundance slowly. It's like I said, whatever you're saving over here, you're gonna lose your life. Plus, you don't have a life, period.
Nothing.
Going up.
Precept on the point you just made that we don't have a life. James 4 verse 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, then vanisheth away.
And that's right now, because we're not what is it? How can I? You know, we haven't evolved yet into eternal life. Well, that's not going to be the case. Right now, this is what we're experiencing. We're experiencing a kind of life where we could be here today and gone tomorrow. But in the kingdom of heaven, that's not going to be the case. You're going to be here forever. It's not going to be like how it was for Abel, which Abel means transitory. He was here and then he was gone. So we're not going to be transitory anymore. We're going to be right here forever and ever. So that's the reward of Yahweh Shai. But we have to get that in order to give this up. Because this ain't shit anymore. Let's just be honest with you. It's like I was down there, right, and I saw those two couples getting married, and I'm looking at the floor, and the floor's dirty. Why would you get married on a dirty floor? Come on, man. Go on, bro.
Just a quick point as well, because something that we said earlier is that we're here to suffer the punishment of our iniquity right now. And it's just like, you know, when you're a child and your parents says, like, you got to do your chores before you go out and play. That's what the Most High is doing with us. We've got to do our chores. We've got to do this work. Then when Yahweh Shai returns, that's the time when we're going to play and enjoy our life and live life to the fullest. Now's the time where we have to be like, you know what, man? We have to suffer for the wrong we did.
Beautiful.
And you know what, too, as well, even though it sounds negative, what we're saying, but it's all beautiful. Because you have to prepare your mind. The more you prepare your mind for what's to come, and you visualize it, it should be all right. All right, because it's all in the mind. It's what the Lord gives you, what you can bear is more on top of that. But if your mind is in the right place and you're not expecting hardship, then your mind is in the wrong place.
Precept, Ella.
Go on, brother.
The book of Hebrews 13 verse 14. For here we have no continuing city. Absolutely. But we seek one to come.
So over here in the Great Britain or UK, and as well as all of us are in America too, none of these ends are for us. All right. This society is only based on the JEW to succeed. Hey. And other versions of the Edomites to succeed. All right, we've tried so many ways possible to find a place in the society, and we can't find a place in the society.
Sorry, are you recording?
Yeah.
Sorry, uncle. Can I ask you what is going on here?
Yeah, we're the Israelites. Are you drunk?
I am not drunk. I'm starting right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I know what you mean. If I'm drunk, I just bought it now. I didn't even touch anything.
That's all right.
But I see like this. Yeah, I thought, brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace, brother. Peace, brother.
Peace and love. Bluetooth.
Peace, stuff. Peace, brother. Bless you, brother.
Yeah, so, this is the thing. Like, and the thing of it is with that brother, he's a prime example of how bad we got it over here. We don't have nothing, man.
Nothing.
So why the fuck are we going to be afraid to die if it has to be the case to get to the kingdom?
Yeah.
We're already dead anyway.
Can I finish this answer?
Go on, brother.
By him, therefore let us offer the sacrifice of praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai continually. As Brother Caleb said, we have to keep on doing the work to the best of our ability, what is pleasing to the Lord.
Yeah, and you know what too as well, in saying all of that, we have no choice. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Our life is based on serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Because if we know, if we go back to the world, guess what? We're going back to nothing.
Yeah.
So that's the end all be all. When you go back to this, what are you gonna gain from this? This is a fallen ship.
Right.
This business or this enterprise is losing. So if you're jumping in bed with a losing business, you're gonna lose. We want to win. We've already know what it's like to lose constantly. We've already experienced this day in and day out, over and over again. We've lost so many times that we become immune to losing. So much so that we expect to lose.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's how this shit is, man. So the thing of it is, we want to know what it's like to win, man. All right? And that time is gonna come when Yahweh Shai comes back and destroys this fucking place and simultaneously gets us the hell out of here. Go on, brother.
May I just make you finish there?
No, just finish here.
You're finished.
Because the Lord is dealing with about that good fruit, not that dead fruit, you know? Let me finish it, brother. That is, okay, let me start again. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai continually. That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name.
Right.
But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices, Yahweh Hashem Shai is well pleased.
It is what we do.
That's what we do,
come
brother.
out here and we bear the elements,
Yeah.
the cold weather. He likes when we do this because we're publicating the word. It says, blessed are the feet of those that publish this ministry. Go on, brother.
Now, I just make a point because what we're essentially doing is we're living a life with a purpose because we're employed. We're employed to do this work. So we've got a mission, a goal, and an objective. And that's something that most of these people in the world don't have. They're just living life on a day-to-day basis, like, oh well, what should I do today? Oh well, maybe I'll do this, or this feels good. So they've got no productivity. We're actually doing something that's productive. Now the point I wanted to make is I was watching a film in the week, a James Bond film. It's called On Her Majesty's Secret Service, right? Now obviously you know James Bond's a spy.
Yeah.
But we're on His Majesty's Secret Service because we're doing the work of the Lord. So that's what I'm saying. We've got this mission, which like the guy who came up, he doesn't see what you guys doing. Oh, we're the Israelites. Oh, what's that? He doesn't know. But like we're conducting our mission, that the game plan that's been given to us by Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. So we're really doing that on the right hand side. So we're employed on His Majesty's Secret Service. It's like, who greater could you work for?
That's it.
Than the Most High.
And Yahweh Shai is a fair power because he pays you fairly.
Exactly.
He pays you right. Not this kingdom here where they tax you over and over again. The more harder you work, the more they tax you.
Yeah,
so he's a fair power.
I've got something to back you both up, yeah? Where you're coming from. This is in Ephesians chapters 1 and 3 says, blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Yahushua HaMashiach, according as he has chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love. The point you made about the employer, the best employer. 5, having predestinated us unto the adoption of the children of Yahushua Mashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will.
according to the good pleasure of his will.
Yeah, which gives us a purpose. Point
Yes,
that you
that's
made
deep,
earlier.
brother. I was just about to
You know,
do
when
that.
you have a purpose in life,
Yeah,
then
man.
you got a reason to, you know, you got reason to feel. All right, sometimes you have your good days, you have your bad days, but the purpose will always still be there
Exactly.
to strive for. Last one in 6 now. To the praise and glory of His grace, wherein He have made us acceptable in the beloved.
Nice. Nice.
So like, can I just say one other thing, if I may? If you remember in the Matrix film, I think it was the second one, Agent Smith was saying to Neo, I want to take from you what you tried to take from me. And he goes, what's that? Purpose. See, when you destroy someone's purpose, you destroy their will to live.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like, if you look at a lot of old couples, like, if they've been married a long time, when one of them dies, usually within a short space of
They
time, the
go
other one
after.
dies.
Yeah.
Because they've lost their purpose. See, now, what we've got this secret calling, Lord willing, we're of the elect.
Yep.
And Esau can't take that so long as Yerami was saying, we overcome. So don't allow Esau to take our purpose, man. Because that's really what's going to keep you focused and driven towards getting to the goal at the end. That's all I've got to say.
And that's a good point. And this, I have to say what I'm going to say about Yahweh Shah being the example. When the Most High left Yahweh Shah, that was that last part of ending his sacrifice on the cross. So again, it's going to get to the point where Esau is going to just make you feel like, oh man, I don't know if I want to go continue on with this fighting against this implantable device. But that's when you gotta go hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's where the change is gonna come. When you feel like, oh shit, that's when you move forward. That's when the change comes. Because when you think about it, it's like, for example, I always use the analogy of lifting weights and just exercising. Period. Like when you exercise, you want to exercise to the point where you're out of it. You're tired, you can't do no more, and you reach to that limit. And once you reach to that limit, that means your mission is done. That means that your exercising is done because you pushed to the limit to where you can't go no more. So now when you relax yourself, then guess what? Then what is it? Your strength increases, your stamina increases. Because of the amount of exercise you put yourself through.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
All right, with this one, Ephesians jump down now to 11. It says, in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will.
Yeah.
If I can make a little point, because that ye thing, that's that, they've taken away his Adidas sponsorship, right? And now, and now he feels like, well, you're going to take away my sponsorship. Well, I've got others too. But what in effect he's saying I'm gonna start talking more now, because he's like, if you're going to take away everything that I've got to live for,
to lose.
what I might as well just throw the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
He's talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce had a sacrifice. He says others that have sacrificed Cosby and his son, Bill Cosby and his son,
Michael Jordan is
Michael Jordan as well. So he's in effect saying, oh, my mother. He said my mother died. He's saying, and he said, I haven't killed nobody, so I ain't got nothing to lose. I can talk. I'm not muzzled. You can't muzzle me. I haven't killed nobody, because they hold that over others who have killed.
Yeah.
So in effect, he's saying, look, you took away my purpose in life, my sponsorship, and I'm into all that. Now I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at you now. And if you're going to come to kill me, it ain't going to look good for you. So he's back to the point now.
Yeah.
We've got a purpose, and the more they come hard with this
The
team,
more we gotta go hard.
trying to take away whatever we ain't got anyway, and we don't care for it, whatever we got, we don't care for, because we got bigger things, bigger fish to fry, bigger ambitions, bigger goals.
Yeah.
He's going to make us go harder.
Yeah, and that's all it's gonna do. Because when Esau goes harder, we're gonna get excited. Like, oh shit, I'm almost to accomplishing my goal. I'm almost to get to what I want to get to. So that's the mentality you gotta have.
Yeah, can I speak?
Go on, brother.
Because it's like Christians, right? When the Christians hear about, these new things that Esau wants to put in place, like the chip and these passports,
Thanks for thinking.
he gets
Thank you,
angry and scared.
Yeah.
Because like the Christian doesn't understand that these are part of the prophecies that we're looking forward to, like you just said, because we know we're getting one step closer to the return of Yahweh Shai, but they don't really believe all of that.
Nah. Well, them Christians, they're very basic. They're on a very basic understanding, and they don't know the scriptures, period, anyway. But
That's the truth.
the thing of it is with them Christians, man, they're losing bad. And what I found out too, man, speaking about those Christians, I did a video, and there's like various different churches all around the world that have been struck by lightning. You know, I had to do a video on that because that's like very telling, because they're supposedly speaking up for the Most High, but the Most High is striking them with lightning. But it's not really. But it's not. But the thing of it is, the reason why they're getting struck by lightning because they're preaching about a different God. They're not preaching about the God of the Bible. They're speaking on a different God altogether. If you can, brother, give me the scripture that talks about that he's speaking of another Jesus or something to that. So that's what it is. You know, these Christians, they're only talking on something else, something outside of what the apostles were actually talking about. It's a different spirit. Go on, brother.
This is 2 Corinthians 11:4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Yahushua, whom we have not preached, or if you receive another spirit, which you have not received, or another gospel, which you have not accepted, ye might well bear with him.
And that's the issue is with these Christians. They're teaching on a different Jesus or a different anointed one that's outside of the true anointed one. So that's why they're getting hit with lightnings and different so-called natural disasters and all of that. Because the Most High is not dealing with these churches. And we've been saying this for as long as we can remember. Now it's starting to really fully, effectively show that. Through these elements. As it is written in, Isaiah 29:6, that the Lord will visit you with thunder and lightning and all of the other elements. So they were visited of the Lord. Okay, but not to go off topic, I want to get back to the temptational times that we're coming into. And if you can, go on, brother.
This is the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
And then at the same time, you lose your crown. You don't want to lose that crown. That crown represents everything. That crown represents that you've overcame this devil. Like how Shah overcame the spiritual demon Satan.
That's heavy, because the devil, Esau, lost his crown because he was hungry.
Yeah.
You know, Cain. Canaan, you know, make me some pottage because I'm hungry unto death. You know, and he sold his birthright for that. So then now if you sell out the kingdom, so you can take the chip and eat some food. It's crazy.
Yeah, so Esau's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Esau's trying to do the same thing we did to him. But that can't work, because the remnant of Jacob, which we represent the real Jacob that wrestled the angel, he's going to overcome. His men are going to overcome. Go on, brother.
And it says in verse 10, Revelation 14:10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture.
So that means you're going to receive the laser and the nuclear destruction in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to be destroyed in all of this stuff, and the Lamb is going to be right there looking at you while he's destroying you. And the angels. Who wants that? So that right there, like when you read that scripture, you visualize that shit. That's going to motivate you even more to not take that fucking mark, man. Go on, bro.
Into the cup of into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Hey man, let me tell you something. I don't want that. That's not something that we want. So even if it means that we have to be homeless, out in the street, or in the concentration camp, you got to always keep that in mind. Remember, the scripture says, I will keep you from the hour of temptation if you keep my word. All right? So always remember these scriptures, because fear is the motivator. And the more you fear the Lord is, the more you're going to do the right thing and not be swayed off your purpose. Because just like you mentioned, we have a purpose. The reason why we live from day to day is because we have a genuine purpose, and this is to serve the Lord. Go on, bro.
Just a quick one, because it reminds you of that guy a couple months back from the IUIC who was saying Yeah, well, you should be able to repent if you take the mark, right? I mean, you should be able to.
Yeah.
Right? You should be able to. See, this is the thing. This is why, was it Proverbs 1? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, because everything you've spoken about here, like being destroyed in the presence of the Lamb, that should move you with fear.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen. But if you're like, well, you know, I'm not really worried about Yahushua coming back, that's when you're going to get double-minded and be like trying to make excuses out of like, well, you know, I really want to take the mark, but nah, man, fuck that mindset, man.
And that is fervent heat. It's not like a normal fire that we light, kindle.
Your
It's
eyes,
fervent heat, brother.
your eyes are
Fervent.
consuming their sockets and your tongue in its mouth.
Yeah,
Tongue in your mouth.
she said that this is Second Corinthians 5:11. Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord,
heavy scripture.
we persuade men.
Heavy scripture.
But we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also you are made manifest in your conscience.
Heavy.
That's why we tell men to repent among our nation, because we know what the Lord is going to bring about in the future. We know and understand this, and when the Lord brings this destruction down, man, it's going to be crazy heavy, bro, like out of this world. So as it is written in Job 18, about how he's the king of terrors. Esau ain't got shit on the law. Now Esau can jack you the fuck up, but it's only to a certain intent. But the Most High can severely destroy you. Yeah. So we want to be on the right stance on it when the Heavenly Father comes back. Yeah, we're messed up, we're bugged out. You know, we're naked before the presence of the Lamb. But that's where He wants us to be, so that we can be delivered. All right, because whosoever, what is it, as it is written, whosoever saveth his life will lose his life, and he that loses his life for my name's sake shall gain his life.
Yeah.
And that's eternal life we're gonna get. Go on now.
This is Job 18 from verse 14, talking about Esau when the judgment comes. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors.
And it shall bring him to the king of terrors, man.
I just recognize his voice.
Sorry, I want you.
Oh, you drinking, man.
Yeah, he's drinking.
See, this is what I tell always my mum. Because I smoke drugs, I want someone to support me. I want help.
Can I say something to you? First of all, right?
I want
First of all,
Yes,
the elder asked you about 2 minutes ago, are you drunk?
No,
And
I'm
you
not
said
drunk.
you're not. You said you're
No,
not
I'm
drunk. You're not drunk at
I
all.
didn't touch yet. No, I'm not
Anyway,
drunk.
let's continue on.
So you
Sorry,
can't
uncle.
ask for help, and then you lied to the elder a while ago, yeah?
I have not lied to the elders. No.
Yeah, let's
Continue,
on,
brother.
man.
Continue.
Do your thing. Sorry if this.
Just come and listen, brother, if you need to listen.
Yeah, so the thing of it is, you know, at the end of the day, man, like this society is on its way out, man. You know, and it's all really is all about the elect. It's all about the Heavenly Father and his
So you be
God,
recording
Son.
me?
You know what I mean? Go on.
It's a Sirach 33 and 1. It says, there shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation even again he will deliver him.
Yeah, so there's no evil. In other words, there's no bad time that can come and overtake the elect. And even in temptation, he will deliver. Why? Because they're going to be keeping the word. Read that again, brother. Revelations 3. Whosoever keep my word, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So they're going to overcome when all hell breaks loose. Go on, brother.
Yeah,
He sure does.
Yeah.
Go on.
Precept, yeah? Esau wants us to feel that fervent heat, yeah? I'll tell you why. Romans 8:35. Who shall separate us from the love of the anointing, Yahushua?
Go.
Separate.
Yep.
Because when we come together, Esau wants to separate by giving us that thing, that see here individually. And he wants to separate us.
Yep.
You see?
Discord amongst brethren.
Right. Who shall separate us from the love of Yahushua HaMashiach? Shall tribulation or distress
that's
or
right.
persecution or famine or nakedness or peril or sword?
Yeah,
Sword.
nothing can, and that's the mentality you gotta have. Because the thing with Paul was persuaded in his own mind, and we have to be fully persuaded in our own mind as well. All right, as we are at this very moment in time, but we keep on being persuaded. To the very end. Go on, brother.
Yeah, I got one for you. This is in this is Hebrews chapters 12 and 15 says, looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, lest any root of bitterness spring up,
Come.
spring up trouble in you, and thereby mainly defile, and mainly be defiled, and many be defiled.
Yeah. And just going back to what you brothers were saying, man, one of you brothers was saying about how Yahweh Shah, he did all of this work. And just imagine if he just gave it up.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been cool, man. That would have not been good, because then that means there would be no reconciliation for Israel. That means we'd be dead in our sins. There'll be no comeback for Israel, as what was promised. So Yahweh Shah had to go all the way to the very end. So read that again, Baba Kushab.
Yeah, Hebrews 12 and 15 says, looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, lest any root of bitterness.
So you have to be diligent in this wisdom and this understanding. You have to constantly be remind some of this knowledge.
Yeah.
So even when you get up every single day in the morning, you're thinking about the scriptures. You're thinking about the destruction of this place. That's the primal thing you're thinking about for most brothers. Or you may see something happen on the news. Oh yeah, that reminds me of that scripture. That reminds me of this scripture, etc., etc. So you're constantly reminding yourself, and it's really the spirit. You don't have to, like, once you keep operating in the scriptures,
Stay in the zone.
you're in the zone constantly. So you don't have to
single.
consciously be aware of that. But that's what it's talking about. You have to constantly be remind someone where you're at, and that your mindset has to be in the scriptures. Go on, brother.
And he reads on, many be defiled, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Because of what he did, as you brother mentioned earlier on, for one morsel of meat. Now this MOTB, they're gonna put, maybe add some what's the word, man? Briberies.
Yeah.
You know, giving the bribery, like it's the same similar thing.
Yeah.
Bribe, you take this, you know, you get, you know,
I can
whatever.
see you still doing that.
You know, and if you take it, it's going to be so easy for you. You can go anywhere, you know, and you wave your hand. So, and if you take it, that's what you're doing there. You're following the bad example of Esau.
But just like I said, Esau wants us to be like him.
Yeah.
His forefather felt it because the morsel of meat, right? So he wants to starve us to death, so that we can succumb and accept this mark, and then forsake the birthright which was given to us, and that can also mean that he can take our birthright from us. That's how these devils are thinking, and that's what the one world order is all about. As the apostles said time and time again, really ultimately it's about them getting the birthright back.
Yeah, man.
But how could you get the birthright back if the Most High didn't allow it?
That's why they have a perpetual hatred. Hatred for us, you know what I mean?
Because Esau is that person that you can bribe him, the high purchase. I remember hearing about this years ago. You can get a high purchase. You get it now, right? When you know advertisements and all you see, or even on YouTube, you advertisement. Get it now, buy now, pay later. Right. That's Esau's spirit.
Yeah.
You don't think, you don't plan, you don't think ahead.
Hasty.
Yeah. Last one now. For one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For we know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessings, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Man, if you took it as what the dream was revealed, that some GMS took it, and even those that dropped dead in IUIC. Now the family members must be saying, "What the?" You know, it's a serious thing, man.
Serious, man.
So they're hoping that basically we get rejected.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Just like how he got rejected.
This is it.
So that they can get the birthright back. It's all about that birthright. You know what I mean? And that's why they can't stand us. They hate us.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to Jacob supplanting him of the birthright.
Yeah.
So that hatred that Esau had, it descended down to his descendants. That hatred that was running through his veins is in their bloodstream.
And if I could add, Elder, right? And it was a fair deal.
Yeah.
Right? He sold it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, what Christians say that he outsmarted him.
Yeah.
No, he didn't outsmart him. It was a fair deal.
It was a fair deal.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why they have the hatred for us for when it's a fair square deal?
Yeah.
The man was hungry. He said, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah, man, I'm hungry, bud, you know." And that's it. He says, "Okay, let me cook up the thing for you and give you." Fair deal.
And all he had to do was be patient.
Be patient.
That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
He couldn't bear being patient.
Yeah.
Going back to the video that you did about real quick,
You know what I'm saying? I peeped that video.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we're all in that state of that. We're all in that Edomitic state of mind where we want things quick.
Quick.
That's the flesh. That's
Yeah,
that
yeah,
flesh.
that's flesh.
But that's Esau though. Esau condition our flesh to be like that.
Yeah.
Go on.
You got something?
Yeah, quick couple of scriptures. Hebrews 12 and 16 says, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold." Can we just read this?
Yeah, you read it again though.
That's the spirit.
That's bang on point. Because the elder was talking about that. Yeah.
It says, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
He was rejected, going.
For he found no place of repentance,
Yep.
though he sought it carefully with tears.
Yeah, so again, he's hoping that we do the same thing. But the Lord ain't looking at the majority of Israel. He's only looking for the elect. The elect, they're the God of Israel. Excuse me. They're the Most High. Somebody give me Romans 9. They're the Israelites of the Most High. So they're going to be the ones that's not going to take the seat here, so to speak. Because really, the elect, they represent Jacob.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, when you read the book of Genesis 35, Jacob rested the angel, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the angel respected him because he fought to the very end. So then he renamed him. Instead of your name being Jacob, it is now known as Israel. Right? So that's the spirit that we come in. We know that we're in a war, as well as Jacob was in a war with the angel. Right? But the 2/3 of Israel, they're gonna give up, as they've already given up anyway.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
Romans 9.
In Romans 9.
Starting from verse 10, it says, "And not only this, but when Rebekah also conceived by one, even by her father Isaac, for the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High God,
That the purpose of the Most High God, go on,
according to election, might stand."
because usually the older brother gets all of the blessings. It's not the younger brother, of course. It's usually the older brother that receives all the blessings. But the Lord flipped the script around, which he can do that, because he's the Most High, right? He decided to have it to where Jacob got those blessings, the covenant, and as well as the birthright. Go on.
Salaki, may I just say something quickly? Just like with Ephraim and Manasseh,
Yeah.
and also Moses was younger than Aaron, and David was younger than all his brothers, but he became king.
He became
So
the king.
sometimes the Most High does flip it to where the younger
Deep,
gets the
brother,
blessing.
deep, brother, deep.
Right, so it says, "For the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High God might stand, according to election, and not of works, but of him that calleth."
And that's the point.
So I read that incorrectly. Let me correct that. For the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High God, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
And that's the point. The purpose of God, that shall stand, as it is written. There be many devices in a man's heart, but the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So it's all about what the Lord's purpose is. Once we understand that, then we can alleviate ourselves from putting pressure on ourselves. We don't have to think over the top. We go with the Most High says, and that's what it is. With Esau, on the other hand, he can't do that because whatever the Most High did didn't work in his favor. So that's why he's doing too much right now. Because he wants to be even or to get over.
Yeah, get back.
He wants that get back, but that get back, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he's a sore loser.
Yeah, and he has to be because he already lost thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
So he's gonna lose to the very end. It looked like he's winning, but he's really losing. As he's winning, we've already won.
Precept.
As it looks like we've lost. Go on, brother.
We're talking about the birthright and Jacob and Esau, but this goes back to Cain and Abel. John 8:44.
Officially, yeah.
Yeah, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth.
And that's really what it is. Jacob and Esau, they're nothing more than Cain and Abel coming back in their life, and we're their descendants. And as Jacob wrestled the angel, as well, it was the same way when Jacob and Esau was fighting in the womb, and that fight is still going on. That fight hasn't stopped. When they came out the womb, that fight is still going on through their descendants. So Jacob's descendants are still fighting against the descendants of Esau. And Jacob ain't giving up the fight until he gets the upper hand, just like how he fought with the angel.
That's right.
You see? Go on, brother.
I finishes. It says, He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth,
And the bold not the truth.
because there is no truth in him.
Right,
Liar,
because there's
boy.
no truth in it.
Liar.
Because the truth didn't favor him. That's why he
Liar,
didn't
liar,
abode in the
from
truth.
some fire.
And what I want to talk about is when the Most High said, look, I want you to give a particular sacrifice. He sacrificed fruits.
Yeah.
So he was away from the truth even from that time. If you
Yeah.
can, brother, give me Genesis 4.
Oh,
I want to go into that
yeah,
story
yeah, yeah.
so I can
Beautiful.
break it down more effectively.
Genesis 4 from verse 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. And she bare again his brother Abel.
Huh.
And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Huh.
And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground, an offering unto Yahweh.
Yeah.
And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock,
Yeah.
and of the fat thereof. And Yahweh had respect unto Abel and unto his offering, but unto Cain and his offering he had not respect.
That's when he didn't abode in the truth. Because the truth was is that you are to sacrifice the first of your cattle. And that's what Jacob did. So Jacob aboded in the truth of the Most High. He did what the Most High told him to do. Go on.
But Cain unto his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Yeah. And that's just the thing. So that's why what he did was that he rose up against his brother in secret and smit his brother. Because he was jealous of the offering that he gave. But had they both given the correct offering, there would be no issues. Or should I say, if Cain given the right offering, then he wouldn't have no reason to be angry. So that anger still continued on when they came back in the reincarnation as Jacob and Esau. Or Esau, should I say. He kept that anger because he's really Cain. You know? So that's why I can't stand this, man. It even goes back to the offering too. Not just the birthright, but as well as the offering that Jacob gave. So we have to add that in there. Go on, brother. You're going out.
To say, sorry, bro. That's the same spirit that Esau has obviously now, because he wants to do everything his own way.
Yeah.
Everything he does is in pride
His
against
terms.
the Most High. You know, and it's exactly the same thing then as it is now.
Yeah. Go on, brother.
And verse 8, and Cain talked with Abel his brother. See, he was a liar from the beginning, man. And it came to pass that when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And Yahweh said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Yeah, so he got mouthy with the Lord.
Yeah.
So he was a disrespectful piece of shit back then.
Yeah,
Go on.
lying about it, man. Done murdered the guy. I don't know, man. Am I my brother's keeper?
What am I supposed to do? Hold his hand?
Salakia, elder. That hits hard because I've got issues with my brothers on this side, and that's the kind of spirit they've got. I don't.
Yeah.
Am I my brother's keeper? That kind of spirit fucking pisses me off.
That hurts, bro. That hurts.
Really
that
pisses
hurts.
me
that
off.
hurts.
I remember what Yahweh Shai said. Greater love have no man than this.
He laid on his life.
And that he laid down his life for his friends. So that's how you're supposed to do with your brothers, man. Not fucking murder
I'll
them.
say this too. I'll say this, just to add quickly. That's because they're not really your brothers. I
Ooh.
know it might be hard. It might be hard hitting to hear that, because I've said I actually had to come out and say to my so-called brother. I said, in other words, get the fuck out of my face. I didn't say that, but I said, no, we're not brothers. And I learned this earlier when I used to live under the same roof. No, we're not brothers. And I know what I was talking about. I didn't give a shit how he took it. I didn't want to explain it because it's like, what more do you want to fucking do? Kill me?
Yeah.
You would probably, if you could do that, and get away with it, you probably would. So I know what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Some people may not get it, but back to you though.
It's the examples that you set, man. You can't call yourself a brother to someone if you're not setting the example that a brother would be to another brother.
Right.
It's impossible. You're just a brother in namesake.
I'll say this again, right? Pass it back to you. Family ain't family unless it's family, man.
I know what you mean by
It's
that.
so simple but so
That
complicated.
ain't deep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Yahweh Shai said that he said
Your mother and brother outside.
his mum and his brothers and sisters came, and he basically cursed them out, man. to make the point that my brothers and my mother, my sisters are those that do the will of the Father, man. You know, people that come out the same father as you, they're just biological associates.
Yeah.
Biological associates. You so happen to have the same mum and dad as me, or same father as me, or
Yeah,
whatever.
man, that bullshit
But-
ancestry.com,
yeah,
yeah?
that's it. That's bullshit, man. But the real brothers are those in the truth.
That's it.
See, that's a beautiful point. But see, this is part of the learning.
Yeah.
Because we're coming from the world, you think that, yeah, we're supposed to be brothers and stuff. But you have to go through those harsh lessons of, hang on a minute, who the hell is this guy?
Done.
And then obviously coming into the truth, you realise, hey, this is the real family. But unfortunately, we didn't come out of the room with that knowledge because the Most High wanted us to experience that. But anyway, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground.
And just like it mentions in the Apocrypha, that how those that have passed away unjustly have cried unto the Most High. So
Heavy.
even when a person cries,
Yeah.
their voice is being heard before the Father. So he couldn't trick the Most High and act like, oh, I didn't do no wrong. You did do something wrong, because he cried. His spirit cried to the Most High, like, why did you kill me? Or whatever he said, we don't really know. Go on, brother.
And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
And this is why today Esau doesn't take care of the earth as he should,
Yeah.
because the fruits are not yielding as it's supposed to towards Esau. Esau's eating good, but he won't be eating as good as we're going to be eating, because when the kingdom is set, when the kingdom of heaven is set up, the earth is going to be back in its old phase. The earth is going to be refreshed. Somebody get me that. So when the earth is refreshed, as it was from the beginning of time, the food that we're going to eat is going to be much more nutritious. And the fruits are going to be ginormous. Like it says in the scriptures, it took 2 strong men
To carry a cluster of
to
grapes.
carry a cluster of grapes. But why isn't that happening now?
The minerals need to be restored. There's no minerals in the soil.
Yeah.
He's rinsed out every part of the land.
Because the land needs
Parts
rest.
of the land that he hasn't rinsed out, he's keeping for himself.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, is an example to that.
Yeah, he owns what is it? Just about all of the land of the United States. Just about, they said. And we already know why he's doing that, because he wants to Frankenstein all of the vegetation.
GMO.
Yeah, that's why he's owning all of it. But the thing of it is, the reason why Esau is doing all of this to begin with, because Esau's not getting that potency of the fruit from the earth.
Oh.
And it goes back to his anger that he has as well. So when the Heavenly Father sets up the kingdom, man, the earth is going to be totally different. The food is going to be more real, nutritious. There's going to be more minerals in the food, vitamins, and all of that. And this is the reason as to why when we eat something, we feel like we got to get something more else to eat. You could have a full
the
plate of
munchies.
dinner,
You're not full.
and you feel like you're not full because the
no
earth isn't
nutrition.
yielding.
Yeah. Nutrition levels are
Very low, yeah.
May I read this next verse, Baba Kashar?
Go on now.
Because this is the verse, again, I get angry when I read this because it shows that Cain is just bitch made, right? Genesis 4:13. And let me read 12 again. And when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Yep.
And here's Cain being a bitch. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face I shall be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond.
Yeah.
I'm being dramatic.
Sound like that
Brother,
too.
you're
being
going
dramatic,
off
right?
the brother. Your voice supposed to be higher than that, brother.
Yeah, a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth shall I be, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
Huh. And I mean, it doesn't really elaborate of what plague that was, but we believe it was leprosy.
The mark, yeah.
That was the mark of that plague. So when Esau came in effect, or Cain again came back as Esau, he came with that same lack of pigmentation. And that was to show that he is the actual wicked one himself. That's why it reads in the book of Isaiah 1:18. You can, brother.
I've ordered 2 for you now.
Let me get. I can. Oh,
Okay.
I'm on.
Whoever could get it, don't matter, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it says in Isaiah 1, I think it's in verse 18, where the color crimson is symbolic of sin. We're gonna put that out. We're gonna get into all that.
Can I get this one first? About the earth, right?
Come on.
This is Revelation 21:1.
Yeah, brother, if you got a precept, any of you brothers, just pull them out.
Yeah, Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
Yeah, and the way that the Lord is going to bring this earth back to what it was in the beginning is by bringing it through the fires, to refine the earth, to cleanse the earth. That's how he's going to bring everything back. Just like, for example, when you burn precious metals. When you burn the precious metals and it is passed through fire, it's purified and it looks beautiful. So that's how the Lord is going to bring the earth back to its old self again. And when that's done, man, we're going to be living life. We're going to be eating that good-ass food. Even the beef is going to be good, because even the cows are going to be eating that raw. They're going to be
grass-fed cows.
They're going to be grass-fed cows, and the grass is going to have so much nutrients in it.
Yeah, no. They feed them corn, and steroids, which you're not supposed to feed cows corn.
Sweets.
You can feed chicken corn, but they want to put everything and just make it, everybody eat the same thing. All the animals eat the same thing.
Yes, mass production.
Make it easy, cheap. But you feed cows on grass-fed. To make a good cow, to get good meat with a balance of fat and meat, which they did. China, they know how to do it.
Yeah.
They do it. They got a special way of doing it. But they put them on the farm and they feed them special high quality grass. And they come out and they've got the. You see,
you're talking about Japan.
Japan, Slovakia.
The Wagyu beef.
The Ammonites.
Yeah, I was watching the documentary on it.
The meat when they produce the meat.
Yeah.
It's got a good content of fat.
Yeah.
Which brings the flavour to the beef and all that stuff.
But we're going to be on a higher, even on a high level than on a high level than them, because it's all going to be natural. Ain't going to be, even they do it make it into a science.
Yeah.
Ours is going to be pure 110% natural, no science, no added, no taken away. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hear you.
No, and that's a fact. It's when we rule the earth, man, Jake. Plus, on top of that, man, the kingdom is going to be kick-ass, bro. Because the earth is going to be the way it needs to be, and Jake is going to add more flavor to it.
Oh boy.
Jake is going to add more enhancements to what has already been the case, and Jake is going to make it better. But see what Esau does. Esau will take something in the violet and distort it, as it is written that he is a crooked man. If you can, brother, somebody, you can hold on to that.
Isaiah 1 and 18.
Yeah, Isaiah 1 and 18, and also get me Ecclesiastes 3, where it reads, you cannot make something straight.
Oh, that's
yeah. You read that, bro.
Isaiah 1 and 18, it says, "Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool."
Yeah, so this scripture here just tells you about the colors, of what these colors are symbolic of. White is symbolic of purity, innocence. Red is symbolic of transgression, sin, which is the same thing. So when Esau came out, when he was born, it was said that he was red as an hairy garment. So Esau, as a whole, the so-called white people, they represent sin on the earth. And if you look at everybody, if you look at all of the other nations have some kind of melanin on their skin. But they're the only people that have no melanin on their skin. And that's to show us that they are the people of wickedness.
And they call us the minorities. When, across the face of the earth. And that's funny you mentioned that. I don't know why, I was thinking about that the other day. Literally a couple of days ago I was thinking about how they've got the world, I think it's someone mentioned to me about third worlds, right? How he's got the Western world talking about other countries as third worlds, where they have the same level of infrastructure. A lot of countries have the same level of infrastructure as the so-called Western society, man. So it's the trick that he plays, on society to big himself up.
Yes.
We're the minorities when he's really the minority. He's the minority.
Yeah. And what he did is he used this doctrine of Darwinism to do that, to say that, look, the darker you are, the less you evolve, and the redder you are, the highly likely you evolve, basically. And everybody's under that indoctrination. And the standard of beauty is to be, what is it?
Pale.
White, leprous, and,
Pale
and
skin, man.
blonde, having blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
That's not the standard of beauty at all. In the reality of the matter, that's recessive genetics.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
And blue eyes is recessive as well.
Yes.
Because over in, well, most over in America, they say there was one guy went in prison. He was an ex-model, but he had blue eyes. Enough woman, you may have heard of the story. It's on YouTube. Enough woman was writing to him. They saw his picture.
Yeah.
Writing to him. He's a brown-skinned man with blue eyes, and they.
Yeah, I think his eyes was green, brother.
Huh?
His eyes were green. He had
Green?
bright green eyes.
Yeah, and some of them, they want babies. They want green-eyed babies, isn't it? It's really popular over there, the blue eyes and the thing.
Gone.
But yeah,
Especially if he's a Jake.
if he's a Jake.
Black woman, man. You go crazy over that shit. Come on.
I got a precept. This is second Ezra and 5. I'll start from.
Black hands from the I'll tell you.
Where was I? Second Ezra 5. Straight to the point. I'll go to 25. So, and all of the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of all the builded cities thou hast allowed Zion unto thyself.
Yeah. So we're the chosen people of the Most High. Go on,
well, that's where it's getting at. That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all of the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and all of the cattle thou have made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
And that's why Esau had to take our heritage and claim it for himself, so that he can say that, look, we're the chosen people of God. And what Esau used as well is Christianity to also actualize this notion that they're the people of God. And many people believe in this, man. All of these dark nations believe in it. Even in Nigeria, man, like the brother of the water, he was going to that. You know, he would speak on how when he went down there and they have this big ass Chesede Borgia picture just right in the midst, because they believe that he's God. And because of that, when he come over here, they're like, yo, like, oh man, so, you know, I'm glad I made it over here. I'm walking amongst the gods and all of this extra stuff. But you can't blame them because they've been indoctrinated. Yeah. Everyone's been indoctrinated based on this Darwinism trash. All right, and that's what made them superior, is that dogma. To believe that basically the darker you are, the more likely you come from an ape. And if you went more whiter, so to speak, or redder, because they're not even white, they're red people. But the redder you are, the more you evolve. But how is that the case when you can't even stand in the hot weather? You need lotion to protect yourself from the UV radiation from the sun.
Yeah.
And then what I also found out, or as we all found out as of recently, they can't even deal with the cold weather. Their genetics can't even deal with the cold weather. But we were taught that they could deal with the cold weather. So that's all bullshit. All right? And they use Darwinism to basically, and as well as doctrines that came out of that, like you have, what's it called, man? You know when you can go back into time. So way back in carbon dating, they use carbon dating to overturn the truth, which is the scriptures. So that Esau can support his narrative and his way as the dominant way. When in fact, all that he has to say and what he has said is a lie.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
Last one, Elder. Second Ezra 5, now 27, it says, and among all the multitudes of the people thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou givest a law that is approved of all. Because you were talking about you got the light skin, you got the pale people, and then you got the dark you. My old man's dark, right? And it's gonna come to a point when we're in the kingdom, we're all gonna have the proper you, which is probably more likely to that direction, more towards the dark. Yeah. And so even one of the scientists I was watching years ago before I got into the truth, when I was waking up, so to speak, I was watching one of these Amalekite small hats talking about their people are the most ugliest people.
And they are.
According to science.
And they are.
You go by science. Why? Because they're the most pale people. If you go by melanin, the so-called black people are the most attractive people. If you break it down scientifically. But I saw that and I said, yeah, that's true. But we're portrayed as the most unattractive people. The darker. And my old man is dark, and I'll get my darker you back when I get into the kingdom. Because always thought black was more attractive. You know, that's just my personal thing. Like dark was more attractive. White, you know, they say white is all right. If you're brown, stick around. If you're black, stick back.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's that Muta Baruka thing.
Yeah.
And I was always out of the box, and I never agreed with that. I never thought it was better to be light. I always, you know, that even as a young man, you know.
Every woman in this world always said, I want a man tall, dark, and handsome. Yeah? You know, is he so dark? He's not dark, is he?
Come on now.
I just want to touch on something Aria said there about definitions of beauty. And because I'm into the art and stuff, I'm into principles of design.
Nice, brother.
Now, one of the universal principles of design is to do with proportions. For example, certain people's faces will look attractive due to the ratio between the space of their eyes or their
I've heard
nose.
about that.
There's certain proportions which are just
Yes.
universally accepted
Yes.
as attractive.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of body composition, in men, shoulder to hip ratio is important. So basically, a man's shoulders, if they're broader than his hips, a woman will generally find that attractive. Whereas with a woman now, shorter shoulders and wider hips is more attractive to a man.
Coca-Cola bottle.
Right? Coca-Cola bottle, yeah. Now with those small hats, if you look at them, they've got like a stick figure proportion in their shoulder to hip ratio. But most Jake have got broad shoulders and narrow hips. So on that principle alone, Jake is generally more attractive. And you know what's funny? Times have kind of changed. Like when I was growing up, it wasn't really cool for Edomites to date so-called black men and Jake. But now it's totally flipped around. A lot of the women want to deal with Jake now because that's the truth. Like Ahab said, they want someone tall, dark, and handsome.
So they know, that's the spirit of the Lord coming in the earth, man.
Yeah,
and
turning things back around.
We are His favorite people. Hence, on every single level you want to talk about, you know, back to you.
And even Jake, when you look at Jake's skin, it's more elastic. It's got more what's it called, man? It's got more
is it
collagen?
Collagen.
Yeah.
We got more collagen in our skin. So that's why when we get older, we age. It takes us longer to age.
Yeah.
So I could look the same way I am right now, but I could be 54.
Yeah.
You know. So that's. Esau don't have that kind of you know, they don't have those genetics going.
And that don't go for you Hamites, man, because you're too dark and ashy. You Hamites, you don't got that
That's a good one. That's a good one.
yellow teeth, yellow eyes, and just ashy skin.
And they got that matte tone. Like our skin is more metallic. We
Yeah,
got
it's
that
got
metallic
more glow.
glow.
Yeah,
Like
that's
right now, I'm seeing your face glow. Metallic glow, brother.
No, and Esau, being grown up around a lot of Edomites, they've actually come out and they've said that you don't grow old, do ya? You know that saying, black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
So that's a form of the jealousy going back to Cain and Abel, Esau and Jacob, the sibling rivalry, the chosen people, 2nd Ezra and 5, we're the chosen people, and they know it, so they feel it they feel that jealousy, that sibling rivalry jealousy within it.
I had an Edomite say to me once, blatantly, how he hates the way. He actually said to me, the words were literally like this: "I hate you, black people." He says, "You don't age." And you know, and in truth, you know, there was more hate in there. But you know, I want to read this. This is Jeremiah 51:19. It says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Yeah.
The Lord of hosts is his name."
And one thing about Esau that he doesn't like about us, the guy that comes to my mind,
Jamie Foxx is very talented.
Yeah.
He can sing, you know, he can play instruments.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, you said?
Yeah.
It's like Common. Common, he does the rap thing and then he does the acting thing, and then he has this common ground foundation where he helps kids. So he's doing 3 things at the same time. But name me one Edomite that can do that. What Jake can do. You can't do it. Because the thing with Esau's only one-dimensional.
Yes.
They can only but focus on one thing. And that's it. So even when it comes to music, like Esau, in order for them to get into the music, they have to work extra harder to get the music down pat. And they need a group of other Edomites to help them out. But Jake, on the other hand, he's just different. Once Jake get into something, he's in the zone, his mind takes over him, and he's able to work it out and to operate his talent.
Yeah. Esau is on a mechanical level.
Yeah.
When it comes to dancing, because I remember when even Michael Jackson, when he was alive, he was saying that when you got the choreographing, and he watches other people, right? You know, Michael Jackson, he said he used to watch other people doing the choreography, and he says they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he says you don't count. He says you just go by the beat, the rhythm inside you. You know, so they do things on the everything they do is on
you're right,
mechanical level.
brother. I was watching the other day. I don't watch it. I feel embarrassed to say, but I don't watch it. I was watching Strictly Come Dancing the other day, right? And there was dancing, and you see the woman counting like.
Because it's stiff.
I should count it. I should count it to the beat. Let us have no rhythm at all. You know? And it's funny, in the spirit, you know who died today too? What a feeling! The girl from Flash. I mean, Flash Dance.
What's her name? Jennifer something.
Is it? I think so. Yeah, she died at 66 today. I think 60 something.
She didn't look that old. Though.
She looked horrible, didn't she?
Did she look up?
She looked horrible.
She was nice. She could have been a Jake.
Yeah, she was. She was a pretty girl, man. That girl was a lovely looking girl, man.
All right, brother. Let's get more into this.
So like it, brother.
Go on, brother.
Matthew 5 and 13, it says, "Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its savor,
Yeah, man.
wherewith shall it be salted?"
Yeah, exactly. So we're the flavor of the earth. We bring flavor. Like all of the empires that became great is really because we had something to do with it. Egypt became great because of us. Exactly. Joseph, he was the first businessman. The first educators was Jakes. All right. The first musicians were Jakes. So when you're dealing with all kinds of rap, excuse me, what am I talking about? When you're dealing with all kinds of variations of music, Jake had something to do with that. In this society, they make it look like, oh yeah, so-called black people, the only thing they're good at is rap music. No, we like that music. Like for example, the music that I was playing in my house, right?
Beautiful.
That classical music. That's the music that we was playing within the rooms of Europe when we was ruling Europe. So where did Esau get that kind of music from? He got it from us. All right. Yeah. So Jake, we're the originators of everything. Jacob is the form of all things, baby. Bottom line.
First, and that's why I say first, Elder, because listen, Yahushua is dealing with the first fruits.
Yeah, exactly.
The elect in it, the first fruits. We are the first in everything.
We're the first of everything.
Everything, brother.
All right, brother. Yeah. You got some precept? Yeah. Yeah, we'll close at 8:30. We'll go for another hour. And speaking about the first fruits, that's why we're also known as Yashuan. In the book of Deuteronomy, where it reads Yashuan wax fat and kick. Jeshuan, see, Jeshuan wax fat and kick. So we're the first, even though he created us, and we were the least among the nations, yet unto him we're his first. As a nation, go on, brother.
1 Peter 1 and 2, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua.
Exactly.
Grace unto you and peace be multiplied.
Yeah, because first and foremost, as it goes for the other nations, we're the first nation, and then you have within the first nation you have the elect, which happen to be in the first fruits. So it's going to be by the first fruits. They're going to obtain this knowledge and this understanding first before the rest of the nation does. The rest of the nation, they're going to obtain the knowledge when the kingdom is set up, when they're under that new covenant, pursuant to the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter. So the Lord is getting the heads in order first.
Another one.
Oh, you got something else?
Yes, well, one more. I'm trying to find it there.
Keep going now.
It's interesting because you said that Israel is the first of the nations, but we were the last nation to come about. So again, it's like that sort of rhythm, that story of the younger gaining the birthright.
Yeah, that's it. Because Esau, like you was even saying as well about David being the least of his brothers, but he was chosen. So the Lord picks whoever he picks, and to the Most High, they are the first.
Right.
They are the most important ones. So we're important. among all of these other nations. And when you really think about it, the Lord allowed these other nations to win first. As the saying goes, save the best for the last, right?
Yeah, man.
So that's what Yahweh Shai did. Yahweh Bash Shai. What he did is he's saving us for the last.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to be, as you said the word beautiful, we're going to be beautiful at the last.
He who laughs best.
Best, that's it.
Exactly.
Deuteronomy,
That's beautiful.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number
Ouch.
than any people, for
Ouch.
ye were the fewest of all people.
Right?
Ouch.
We were the fewest of
That's
all
heavy
people.
scripture.
So we were the least of all people, but he favored us instead.
Yeah.
And he could have picked any other nation, but he picked us instead.
That's why Esau's jealous.
And that's why, and not only Esau's jealous, but even these other nations
Other
are jealous of
nations,
us.
yeah.
Because they know the accounts. And you know it too, a lot of these Muslims, they won't say it, but a lot of them know who we are. They know that we're the Israelites too. And when you read that Quran that they got in their house, it speaks about the Israelites.
They call us the people of the book.
So they know the deal. But see, the thing of it is with Jake, they was able to get Jake into that Islam because Jake don't know any better. You
Yeah.
see, the Israelites that know better, they can't get us into that point. All right? Go on, brother.
Verse 8 says, but because the Lord Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath
That sounds
which
nice.
he had sworn unto your fathers.
And that's what we have done. We've returned back to the oath. See, our forefathers and the multitude among us have left the oath. But the Most High had it to where we return back to the oath. And how do we know that we're under an oath? By knowing that we're the Israelites. All right? And within that oath, which is the covenant, we keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability.
Nice, Elder.
Go on,
Nice,
brother.
nice.
And it says, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand,
Right.
and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt.
Come. And using so many different miracles that our Moses did. And it was all by the power of Yahweh Shai. So we're going to get delivered by Yahweh Shai through his Father, through the power of his Father, as he's going to glorify his Father with his power. All right? And this is all done because what? We're back to the oath again. We're keeping that oath again. The oath was never dismantled, but we've left the oath. And that's what led the problem. That's why we went into slavery, and we're in slavery right now under these curses because we left the covenant.
Yeah, man.
So now that we're back under the covenant, which we're in a time period of grace, we're going to transition to the new covenant. And because of that, Yahweh Shah is going to have to get us back and to reclaim us. Hence it's called. Hence he's known as our Redeemer. In other words, he's going to buy us back.
Yeah, man.
And because we're what is it? We've been made to be under a contract. And in order for us to come out of this bondage, the Most High would have to send his son back to steal us from the contract of the system so that he can claim us for himself. If you can, brother, give me the scripture where it says, they say, I think it's somewhere in the book of Psalms, that these two countries are mine, something like that. Because Esau already believes that we belong to him. Remember, Esau believes that we're only his assets. And he wants us to himself and only to himself. But the Most High is going to change that. And he's going to show that, no, they belong to me. All right?
Ezekiel 35 and 10.
It smells awful.
I tell you, long time, brother, long time.
Ezekiel 35 and 10, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we shall possess it, whereas the Lord was there.
And you see, this is why you gotta, and this is what we gotta do. When you're out in the elements, you gotta deal with the smell of cigarette, you gotta deal with the smell of weed, you gotta deal with the smell of this nasty, disgusting animals such as the pig, man.
That's it.
You gotta deal with all of this shit. Go on, brother.
And it says,
and then we gotta deal with the niggers among our people too. Go on, brother.
Verse 11, therefore as I live, saith the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out, and thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them.
And I will make myself known among them.
When I have judged thee.
When I have judged thee. So when Yahweh Shah makes his second return, he's going to make it well known that these are my people.
Wow.
These are my people, man. Them stuff just getting cooked.
I say it, man.
You know,
Nigga got the whole strip here.
doesn't come around here, man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High's got so sweet, because it's so sound by the Most High. Yeah. That pork. That's sweet. That, you know, that's the sweetest meat. That's why we want to go to.
Oh, man.
Hey, read that, brother.
Yeah, I run that again. Ezekiel 35 and 10. Yeah, that sizzling.
Yeah, yeah.
Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. So all of these niggas are mine. That's what Esau's saying. And including the land is mine. The whole world is mine. Go on, brother.
and we will possess it,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the Lord was there.
Right, whereas the Lord was there. So they're saying these people are my people. They're for me so that these people can enrich me and make me appear better. So there's no power. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take over the seat of the Most High and sit in his seat.
Damn.
That's the mindset of these devils, man. If you can, brother, get me hold that, and get me what is it? I think it's in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, where it reads that he sitteth in a place, he sitteth in something like he is the Most High, something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I just need to switch
Showing
the
him
charger.
Exactly. He said everything belongs unto him, including the tribes of Israel. But see, when Yahushua comes back, he's going to shake the powers that are. And they're going to be trembling and shaking in their boots and shitting in their pants, man.
Yeah, man.
All right?
Yeah, man.
Because they're going to see the real power coming with that real power. And he's going to take his people from the hands of those that hate him. All right, go on, brother. No, you're holding the things locked.
Oh, you waiting for me?
No, I thought you... My mind just went crazy. I thought you was over here, man. Go on, man. I remember the apostles when they was teaching in Times Square, 34th or 7th. You had these, you had these standout things. You had those food standings, and they were cooking that pork, man.
Mm.
That shit stink too.
There was that time where on 34th as well, where some people started parking bikes.
Yeah, I remember that.
The bosses was like, move the fucking bike, man.
Yeah, it's true, man.
I told you, move the fucking bike.
Yeah, next time, they're like, we're gonna have to tell this guy, like, just go sit up over there or something, because we don't want to be smelling
It's abomination.
Go on.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition,
Malachi.
who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is good, all that is the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as Yahweh sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh.
Yeah, that's what the Renaissance period was all about. He painting the pictures and turning them into Edomites, all of the saints, all of the angels, so that eventually he can rule with deception and saying to the world that I'm the Most High, and everyone belongs to me this time. All right, especially with this Klaus Schwab character. He said, you will own nothing and be happy. What kind of madness is that? Yeah, that's pretty much the deal. But the thing of it is, the Lord again is going to show them something different. Because in the book of Luke 21, that tells you that the powers on high, the powers that be are going to be trembling when he comes back.
Appreciate it.
All right, go on, brother.
You finish on?
Yeah.
Oh,
And they're hoping like hell that the Most High doesn't come back.
oh, yeah.
Go on, brother.
The book of Philippians 2 verse 10, that at the name of Yahushua Hamashiach, every knee should bow, all things in heaven and things in earth.
Yeah, so even this goddamn devil is going to bow. He's going to have to bow the knee. And you know who's going to bow the knee to? The people that he hates the most. The kingdom of the elect. As it is written that they should lick up the dust of our feet. Go on, brother.
Right. And things in earth and things under the earth. And that every tongue shall confess that Yahushua Hamashiach is Lord, to the glory of our power, our Father.
Amen.
Amen.
Brother, we good. We don't need this, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, like, these levels that are highly exalted right now, they're gonna bow.
Yep.
They're gonna witness themselves bowing. Right now, they're high and mighty and proud, and feel like they'll never come down. They'll never bow to nothing or nobody.
Yeah.
But the day is gonna come where they will bow. All right. We thought the same way. There was a time when we was at the height,
True.
the height of
True.
ourselves.
True.
But guess what? We came down.
Oh, yes.
And Moses prophesied, and he said, "Look, if you don't keep my covenant, law, statutes, commandments, you're gonna be brought down to these levels." We never thought of that. But now look at us. But that doesn't necessarily mean we're gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
It's just for a temporal moment. Okay? And we're actually in the right place at the right time. It's better to be low now to be exalted later. And that's where we come in. Go on, brother. I know it's cold.
No, we got it.
We got to soldier through it.
Yeah, you spoke about wiping up the Renaissance. Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lay in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called
brother,
Sodom.
let's move further over. Shit's getting on my nerves too. That's why people get wiggly worms too when they eat that shit.
Someone more about it. Worms
Coming out their eyes and shit, coming out their ears. Come on, man.
You got it?
I mean, it tastes good, but boy, I'm telling you, man, that shit's killing you inside.
Yeah. Gives you worms. Is that thing under there all right?
As far as I'm concerned, man, the way he's doing it is not your business, because what you want to do is you want to go over there. People ain't gonna buy no sausages.
What I think he does it here, then he goes over there.
No. But it's still bad business, man. What he could do is go over there, because people are walking up and down the place over there. But you don't come around here, because we talking shit. Ain't like gonna buy stuff, hearing us talk shit. Come on, bro. That's a terrible way to present your business. I'm fucking about.
It says Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lay in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
Yes, so brother, what made you read that?
Because he was mentioning the Renaissance period.
Oh, okay, yeah, come.
Yeah, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right.
So yeah,
Go on, brother.
as the elder was speaking about the Renaissance and changing the names and the images and stuff, that's talking about America, man. You know, and Europe. You know, the only people that kind of left the ancient icons alone were the Russians.
Yeah,
they kept it, man. That's why they, you go over there and you see their books.
Yeah.
You know, the paintings are so-called black men. But everywhere else, they fashioned it after Cesare Borgia. You know.
Yeah, they flipped everything, man.
They covered the faces of the
Judges
judges.
did it.
You finished with that?
Yeah.
Hold on quickly. The first Maccabees 3 and 4, I'll start at 46. It says, wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Masphah over against Jerusalem. For in Masphah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel. Let's get to the point. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes.
That's just sizzling.
And laid open the door wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Yeah. You know it too, and that's
You had it like this before.
What happened during the Renaissance period?
You had it
happened
like that.
all over again. Because that's what the heathen, what they tend to do is they will, especially the Edomites.
Something like that.
They'll take something and put a different spin to it, man. And that's what they did to our art. They took all of the dark art in the rooms of Spain and many other places and depicted them as Edomites.
It's not gone in yet. That's why it's not gone in.
So to speak.
Oh, you know what?
And that's just so that they can show the world.
I've got an idea.
Look, we're the saints. We're the holy men. We're the image of divinity. And they had to do that. Because everybody's of human. So they had to show, look, yeah, we're those people. Because if they came naturally by them being who they are, people wouldn't take them seriously. So they had to deceive the world.
They were See you next week, yeah?
Try and find it.
Oh, it's nice. Nice and stiffer now. Nice and stiffer now.
Stiff down now.
Nice
Yeah,
and
man, I
stiffer.
saw, you know,
Yeah.
Double it up.
Do what,
I
do what,
saw
brother.
this short video, this Edomite, he's doing excavations in the
Yep.
Nice.
in the tombs,
Yep.
in the pyramids, right? And they found some mummy, and obviously we know we're not
Egyptians. Yeah.
just to clarify that. But it's the disappointment in this Edomite's face.
Yeah. Can you let go?
Voice when
Is
he
it right?
found
Yeah,
out
if you let go.
Okay, true.
This
Yeah, come.
When you
person
first done
that
it.
Yeah, yeah,
you
you're
know,
cool.
perished and was
Yeah, that's
mummified
Yeah.
was actually a dark-skinned person because they want to be everybody, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember, you got a lot of Edomites out there claiming to be Egyptians, they claiming to be
Yep.
us. What else? They claim to be the Spartans,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And when they claim to be the Spartans,
Much better,
they
bro.
homo that shit up as well.
Yeah, they
That's
sure do.
perfect now.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So they
Straight.
want to be everyone but Esau, man.
Fugitive and a vagabond on
He
the
shall
earth.
be. So he's running away. Go on, brother.
So like, no, I was just gonna say he's trying to what do
Hide
they
his
call
identity.
it? Identity theft.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
trying to
keep-
make himself out to be everybody but the Edomites.
But that's who they are. So I mean, you know, like I would just wear it, man. Like it's your jacket, bro. It fits you perfectly well. Just wear it, man. You're the Edomites. Your works do show that you are the Edomites. All right. You lived up to that name. You lived up to that title. So go with it, man. Go on, brother. You gotta need more precepts.
I finished on the one I had.
Yeah, so so basically, like you was reading, they crossed out the image because that's what it means to be crucified, meaning to be crossed out. So they crossed out the image of Yahweh Shai, and in other words, his ways and his understanding, including, and that took place in America, and that's where we've begun to be awakened, because the true awakening begun in America, beginning when you had Albert Bivens came on the scene, as we believe that he's Elijah, coming forth to return the fathers back to the historical accounts in the book of Malachi, something, right? So that was that period of time. And then guess what? The awakening came around the four corners, which is mentioned in Ezekiel 37. And this ties all the way back to what you was talking about and how we've overcome.
Oh, I've got a precept on that. Jesus just said that word that came to mind.
And then you got Zechariah 13 and verse, 9, where it talks about how the Lord is going to make way for the third and walk over the fire.
Yep. This is the book of, and that's a heavy point, Salaki, on that dude, right? The brother Ariel said this, like, you gotta be mindful of, you know, whose brothers may be around, because we could go home smelling like pork now, you know, and then it's like someone could say, well, you guys don't eat pork,
Yeah.
you know, but you're just around that, man.
Yeah.
You don't control the conditions of the battle, man. You know, crazy.
Yeah, because you got all kind of spirits and elements coming towards you. Go on, brother.
This is the book of John, chapter 16, verse 33, and it says, "These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world."
Yeah, but be of good cheer. I've overcome the world. So that's what we're supposed to be mindful of, is the fact that the author and the finisher of our faith overcame the world. All right, so that we can overcome the world. Now we have a lack of faith, then we're going to be destroyed. So again, we're in a situation where we don't even have no choice but to believe. Actually, in the book of Proverbs, somewhere it says that it's a sin. I think it's in the book of Proverbs, or somewhere in the New Testament, but it mentions on how, I think it was Paul that said it, that it's a sin to have no faith in the Most High. So we're in a very what is it, man? We're in a situation where we're trapped. We're like prisoners of hope, like Paul was. So we have no choice but to believe in this thing.
Let me know if you want to go.
All right. You know what I mean? So if we continue on with this idea of having this hope of overcoming, then we're going to overcome. Because you can only but go by based on where you're at mentality-wise. As it is written, a man is what he thinketh himself to be. So if you thinking you're not going to make it, you're not going to make it. If you believe that you're going to make it, then there's a higher chance you're going to make it.
Yeah.
So it's wherever you take your mind, there the body will go. As the saying goes, mind over matter, right? Go on, brother.
May I say something, Brother Kishar? as light as we might take it, that guy there selling the pork, as I said, that's all set up by the Most High. This could be anywhere on the street.
True.
But he always comes and stands right next to us. Now, that's something that we have to overcome, and we did overcome it. But it's like, when you're smelling that fucking, that swine's flesh and stuff, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't even want to, it's like, you don't even want to be smelling it, but you have to deal with it.
You have to.
But again, this is conditions of the battle, little things that, it might seem silly and trivial, but those are things we have to fight to overcome. Because it could be easy to think, oh, you know what, man, that smells nice, I want to get one after camp or something. But nobody's watching you eating pork. I mean, come on, man. Them kind of demons can jump on you from that.
But you know that shit smells terrible.
You know, I still smell it now.
The spirit to take that away from you is strong, because there was a time when brothers would be eating that shit.
Yes.
And now the smell disgusts us.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
That's it. I can still smell it now. I don't know.
It's
You know,
stinks,
it's on the
man.
air,
It's on the
It's in
clothes.
the air.
Damn.
Go on, brother. That shit stinks to high.
Stinks, man.
Talking about faith, disbelief, right? Romans 14:23, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith.
Right.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
There you go. That's what I was getting at. So it is a sinful thing to have no faith. It's actually a transgression. Because remember, the whole duty of man is to serve the Creator by keeping His commandments. So if you don't have faith in the Most High, then what else do you have faith in? Because you're going to have faith in something. It's either you're going to have faith in yourself, or you're going to have faith in some other entity outside of yourself.
Beginnings of idolatry.
The beginnings of idolatry. All right? And also, rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. So if you don't believe in the Most High, you're going to go against it. You need the ability of having faith in the Mashiach Yahweh. And so that you have the faith that we have shall flourish, as it is written in the Apocrypha too. Go on, brother.
You finished, Elder? James 1 verse 6. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Yeah, you have to be straightforward and direct in believing in this thing.
Believing it.
Again, being not lukewarm. If thou art lukewarm, I will spew thee out of my mouth. In other words, the Lord is going to spit you out from the congregation of those that are among the holy men. So it's in your best interest to believe, despite the elements, despite what goes on, despite how angry you get when things don't go your way. You still have to believe in the Mashiach Yahweh Shai.
Beautiful.
Even if you're sick. You know, I know brothers go through various sicknesses and all of that. You still have to believe. It doesn't matter how sick you are. It doesn't matter how sick and tired you are. You have to believe in this thing because your belief is going to get you where you need to go.
Get you through.
Go on, brother.
Matthew 8:23 says, and when he was entered into a ship, his disciples followed him, talking about Yahushua.
Nice, brother.
And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciples came unto him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?
Right.
Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm.
Yeah. And Yahweh Shai was demonstrating his power through his faith. So when you demonstrate faith, everything has to operate according to the way, you know, like the example, when Yahweh Shai was in that situation, he rebuked the sea, and the sea went throughout his way. Which really that happened because Yahweh Shai was on a higher level.
Yeah.
But again, he was demonstrating the ability of faith. That you can overcome just by having a little amount of faith too, as a grain of a mustard seed. All right. So that's what it's all about. That's the name of the game. It's the fact that you got to keep going forward, even if it's sick, even though it seems like, man, it's just not gonna happen. You still got to keep going, even in this cold ass weather we're in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really too much feel it. Maybe because maybe it's because of the cold showers that I take. You know, but it's cold. You know, I can feel it in my hands. It's quite cold. And I know you brothers are going through it. You know, I can understand that.
About in the freeze box. Yeah, bro.
But we still gotta muscle it through. Because we live in the cold world, so we gotta overcome this world. Yeah. You know, you ain't got no choice. Well, yeah, read that again, though.
Romans chapter 14:23. And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
And the word damned just means to be condemned. So damn is not a bad word. It's another way of saying condemnation or to be condemned. That's all it ever means. So if you don't believe, then you're condemned. You know what proves that you're condemned? Let's elaborate on that. Let's get Revelation 21 and verse 8. Because if you don't have no faith right now, man, then you're going to take that mark and you're going to receive the same plagues and the same troubles that those that have murdered, those that have gone into witchcraft and idolatry. You're going to suffer the same fate as those people. And all you didn't do is simply believe, because you didn't believe. Okay? So this is the thing, man. Because man has to believe in something. We went from believing in the powers that be of this world, we believe in our teachers, we believe in our doctors. Now we've turned it straight from that, and now we believe in a higher power, which we always knew, but we just didn't understand it. All right? And because we believe in the higher power has given us a true, genuine purpose to live.
Precept.
Go on, brother.
This is very, very on the point of faith, because you can't give yourself faith, unfortunately. Ephesians 2 and 8.
I know where you're going.
For by grace ye are saved through faith, and that it is not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High God.
Yeah, so the Lord has to give you the gift of faith to believe in Him. So the reason why a lot of jakes don't see what we're talking about, because for one, the Lord didn't open up their eyes, and number two, He didn't give them the gift of faith. So you have to be given that element to actually do what we're doing and to withstand it to the very end.
Another one.
Go on, brother.
Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 1:14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it is created with the faithful in the womb.
And it's created in the faithful in the womb. All right? So if I'm correct, it has to be in you from when you're born.
Yep.
Just like, for example, what did He tell Jeremiah? He said, I knew thee even when you was in the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be in you.
Before I formed thee in the belly.
Yeah, I knew you.
Damn.
There you go. So this is the thing,
Which goes back to the election.
which
Yeah,
goes back to the election, and as well as the first fruits.
Oh.
So it's all about the first fruits, baby. And they're gonna have that faith to overcome. That's why we're out here in this cold weather. The only thing that's freezing is my hands. That's it. Right? But everything is I'm all right. My hands is freezing. But we don't care about it because we're looking beyond what we can feel, what we can sense. We're not letting our senses dictate what we can and cannot do. We're not sensual men. We're not natural men. We're spiritual men now. So because we're spiritual men, we've transcended to a greater state of mind.
Plus you love Yahweh Basham
Plus you love Yahweh Bash Me'al Shai. Most importantly, brother, be fear
Yeah.
Yahweh Bash Me'al Shai.
Because if you love me, feed my sheep. And that's what
Exactly.
you're doing, brother's doing now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why we out here like this, because we got the fire in us to be out here, which is the Holy Spirit too. Go on, brother.
This is Revelation 21 and 7. It says, He that overcometh shall inherit all things.
And that's what we want, because we never had shit in this society. We was nobodies in this society. We thought we was somebodies, but we were never nobodies. We never stood a chance in this society the way that we would like to.
Yep.
But the Lord said, look, I can give you everything. As long as you overcome, and I can give you a crown, which is to signify, well done, my son, who I am well pleased. All right? Just like how He told Yahweh Shai, if I'm correct.
Yep. That's right.
Go on, brother.
It says, And I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire, in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is the second death. The first death was by the flood. The second death is going to be by the fire. So when the fire consumes all of these elements, that's going to be the second death. And in order for you to go under that, you have to take that mark. And there lies you not having no faith. All right? So you're going to be damned just by you not having no faith. Right along suffering the same fate of those that were abominable, whoremongering, idolaters, and such. Which makes up a whole lot of the population that you see. There's going to be a lot of deaths out here. People that you love, people that you hate, people that you didn't know. Death is going to be out here because of unbelief. What's going to keep us alive is the vision that we have. All right, that's in the book of Proverbs. When the people have no vision, the people perish. So based off them not having the vision that we have, which is the truth, they're all gonna die. We're gonna remain alive because we're in conjunction with the scriptures, and we accept the visions of the prophets. And not only that, this is the truth. And as the truth does, it stands forever. We will stand forever with the truth.
Yeah, and it sets you free.
The truth will set you free. Go on, brother.
This is Psalm 30:1. It says, I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me.
Come.
O Lord, my power, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me.
And this is the thing, man. Like when you read the scriptures, this is the historical accounts of the so-called black man, so-called Latino Native American man. These are historical accounts. All of these different books, the book of the keeper, the book of the Egyptian book of the dead, the Keeper Negas, the Quran, right? However you say it in Arabic.
They say,
right?
That's the way they say it. Exactly that way.
The Holy Quran.
Yeah. Correct. That's the twisted tongue.
Yeah. Right? All of these different books has nothing to do with our people.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate book of our people. And in this book lies every single thing that you need to know to stand up as a man against the powers that be and against all of these spiritual elements. Because really what we're dealing with is a spiritual war at the end of the day that we're going to overcome at the very end. Go on, brother.
It says, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave.
Thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. We're in the grave right now. We're in a dead state right now. So the Lord is going to bring us out of our graves. Well, actually, he's already done that by giving us this truth. If you can, brother, read Revelations 11, and then we'll go back to that. So he resurrected us on the third day in the book of Hosea, the 6th chapter. That's why we're standing with confidence, and we're speaking with confidence. We're not jibber jabbing with our words. We're not mumbling. We're not stuttering. We're speaking clear, because we know what we're talking about, and we're sure what we're talking about. All right? Just like Yahweh Shah, when Yahweh Shah was speaking, he was speaking with great authority.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're doing this because we know exactly that this is the truth. And because of it, we know who the hell we are and what our purpose is. And just to be honest, like the average person, they walk to and fro, they go into clubs there and there because they don't have nothing to live for.
Nothing.
They're not confident, they're unsure of themselves. They don't know where they're coming or going because they don't have a purpose. But we have a true, genuine purpose.
Yeah.
That's what makes us better than everybody else. Not to be braggadocious, but it's the truth. All right? Go on, brother.
Revelation 11:3, and I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
That's the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Go on.
And these are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the Most High on the earth.
Yep.
And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed.
Go on.
These have power to shut heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over water to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with the plagues as often as they will.
That's that spiritual power that they're going to be able to do that. Go on.
And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Yeah, so in other words, when they conquered us, they put us into slavery, and they beat the Hebrew out of us, and we were dead. As it is written, they that remain out of the them that remain out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. So the Lord brought us out of that dead state, and now we're invigorated and we're alive, and now everything makes sense to us. Now we know why we're experiencing in this life.
Right. Putting the pieces together.
Yeah, and everything makes sense to us. Okay, and we know exactly who we are. And see, when you know who you are, you know where you're going. When you don't know who you are, you don't know where the hell you're going. Okay? So we're in a beautiful situation, even though we overlook that, because life does that, like the elements of life. makes us to overlook what we already have and appreciate what we have. But we should appreciate what we have and be thankful that we're here, because we didn't have to be chosen. We could have been just like these niggas out here, walking to and fro trying to get some pum pum.
Yeah.
That's what life is all about. No. There's more to life than just getting vagina, man.
That's right.
All right. It's about doing the Lord's work, and then we'll be able to experience more than just getting vagina. Okay, like that's the end all be all. That ain't the end all be all. But we'll get tons of that in the kingdom and many other things. But we got to do this work. Go on, bro.
Yeah, I got one for you.
That was it on that.
Go on, I got one for you, quick one. This is in Psalms 139.
Good.
I'll start from 1.
You got to
Says-
be careful with that shit too.
The
man.
chief musician, a psalm of
Especially
David. The Lord, thou hast searched me and know me. Jump down now to 14. It says, I will praise thee. So this is David now. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. So you mentioned that we don't appreciate. Take the time to appreciate. We got this truth. Most High gave us, chose us, or called us at the moment, Lord willing to be chosen. But David is acknowledging that he says that he's wonderfully made.
Yeah.
You know, knowing what he was able to do with the spiritual power, with that body, even though it's of the flesh, he acknowledged he had his woman there, so he said, I would say he was probably an attractive man. So, you know, he was fertile, so he had some children. That's beautiful, that's a gift, man. Highly fertile, and Jake is highly fertile too. Even now with the food that they're trying to fling us.
Yeah, we're still for
We still got the
Yeah,
acid.
man.
The acid.
Yeah, man.
Right? So, yeah, let me just carry on. We got the acid, we're fertile, right?
Can I just say something? Because I was just thinking, you know how they talk about the so-called, you know, what happened in Germany to the small hats, right? I'm going to keep it like that. Now, if you really calculate the amount of deaths that they've caused to Jake, you can compare that with that, and we're still here, and we're still a multitude.
Yeah, man.
As the scriptures say. So there's no getting rid of us, man. And not only that, you think about all the towns that they destroyed, all our people, all the diseases they put on our people. We've had our own Holocaust, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got the Planned Parenthood in Babylon, where they're trying to kill off our people before they even come out of the womb, man. So you know, and that's all down to the Heavenly Father. So keeping us as a nation.
I just say something to add to Amwan's point. There's nothing new under the sun. That goes back to Exodus, the first chapter.
I was thinking about that.
When Pharaoh put the decree that all the male children of the
That's
Israelites should be put to death.
Spirit.
See, there's nothing new. It's just the same thing repeating. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, 15 now. My substance was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret and curiously out in the lowest part of the earth. Yeah, well, I know there's a brother that can remember when he was in the womb. Right? Thine eyes did see my substance, similar to Jeremiah. Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in countenance were fashioned when I was yet thee, was none of them. So scientifically, right, and just common sense wise, we're wonderfully made, man. We're gifted, we're blessed people, gifted. Even just the way we are in this low condition. Like we say, we're still potent.
Salt of the earth.
And that saying, we don't die, we multiply, man.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the scriptures too, man. It's actually a saying, but that you can trace it back to the scriptures.
Yeah.
Because you know, when we're caught up, you know, when the scriptures about us getting caught up and we're made new men, we're really, that's going to be our proper state that we should have been in the first place. You know, we've been brought low, like the brother just said.
We shall be risen. And this is the thing, man. Like he that is abased shall be exalted, and he that exalted himself shall be abased. So the Lord is going to exalt us. Somebody get 1 Samuel chapter 2 and verse 6.
I've got you.
I think it's verse 5 to be exact. Because it was really the Lord that brought us low. So if it was him that brought us low, then it's going to be him that's going to exalt us to a higher degree as we're supposed to be.
You ready? Even in was it ancient Egypt, the scripture says, the more they oppressed us, the more we grew.
Multiply.
Yeah.
Done. And you know what it's well, like before you read that, bro, I just want to just say something real brief. In this life, we're knowing what it feels like to be a nobody. We know what it feels like to be unrecognized, unchosen. So we had to experience all of this, so that when we do become the exalted one, and become chosen and all of that, which is good, then we can look back and be like, okay, we had experiences on that. And again, that goes back to making the heart better. Because of our failure, that's what allowed that to happen, so that we won't do that again and appreciate the kingdom forevermore. Go on, bro.
1 Samuel 2 verse 6. Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes.
And that's where Jake is at, baby boy. Jake is begging for vagina in some cases. Jake is begging for a job. Jake is begging to get put on in the industry.
We're just begging out here.
We're just begging out here, man.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Let's keep the shit real. Right? Jake is out here begging. Begging at the foot of everything. So we have a, like, somebody get you can give me what is it, John 16? You know the parable of the poor man and the rich man and the beggar. This is us, man. Like, we have to just be, we have to be accepting of this. You know, if we can be accepting of our future, we got to be accepting of what's going on right now. So there you go. Finish that, brother.
He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill to set them among princes.
To set them among the princes, go on.
And to make them inherit the throne of glory.
Right, to make them inherit the throne of glory. So the beggars are going to become those that are going to wear the crown, as it is written. They that were not thought of to wear the crown shall wear the crown. All right? Because no other nation really expects the best out of us. Even ourselves. We don't even expect the best to come out of ourselves. But guess what? The best will come out of the nation that is least expected to become great. Okay? All of these nations, man, they've all been programmed under Esau. Esau's propaganda. That Jake don't know anything. Jake has a low IQ. And all they are is a bunch of thugs and can't seem to get themselves together. Right? So that's how Esau's programmed these nations to be against us.
And you know, Elder, that's why Esau has a lot to pay for, because
that's why,
because of so much distraction, the football World Cup, the phones, the mobile phones, everything, women walking half naked on the street, that's all distractions. That's why they're all dumbed down. They're dumbed down in the spirit. You know?
And you know what too, that does break your spirit down. Because you're constantly looking at a woman's ass, man. That's bringing your vibration down. When you're constantly thinking about sex, you're not looking ahead of what's going on. Because you down over here.
Yeah.
You gotta be in the head. Esau don't want you to be in the head. He wants you to be thinking about. He wants you to be thinking basically around your private area.
Yeah, man, your second head.
Yeah, the second head. Go on, Doc.
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fared sumptuously every day.
He fared sumptuously every day. That's the stuff. Beginning of the JEW. So-called the 1948ers happened, right? Like one of the Rothschilds just perished at the age of 92, if I'm correct. He died on the 8th of this month. And he knew no struggle. All of these they don't know what it's like to get up early in the morning and work, bust their ass. They don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
So they're living good, man.
Yeah, they're not in trouble as we are.
They're not in trouble as we are. They don't have to bear the ignorance of the average folk.
They're not in trouble
as other men. And therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. So all they've ever seen is prosperity, blessings. That's these JEWs that own all kind of corporations, that own politicians, therefore owning the countries. Come on, man. You tell me if come on, man. Get out of here. Go on, bro.
And it says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores,
Lazarus represents us, the beggar which was laid at this gate full of sores, which the sores are indicative of the curses. Go on.
And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Begging. Oh, I need a job. Oh, I need to get put on. Hear my rap record so I can get off the hood. Oh, please. This, please that. Baby, I love you. Fighting to stay in a relationship. When really, no, in reality, that bitch is supposed to be fighting to stay with you.
That's right.
Okay, you got all of these love songs that Jake has ever made. Oh, I love you, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, just begging out here.
Hey,
Right?
man, it's like because you just reminded me. Remember the song End of the Road, Boys to Men?
Yeah.
You know when it cuts to that deep voice nigga?
Yeah, and
and
he's
he
got
starts
the
talking
stick,
about how all those other guys that used to run around, I knew about it, I just didn't care. That's some simp shit.
Yeah, that was big. That was. That,
And they got niggas singing that shit. Listen, I don't even admit to singing that.
Some of that shit is good though. I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of that shit is pretty good though.
Oh my god.
Like, you got this nigga Kem, man. He be going in. I don't know if you brothers know who Kem is.
No.
Dude with the bald head. You gotta go check him out, man. He OD that love shit. He's kind of funny. They're going, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you type in KEM, you will see his music. Go on, brother.
Right. So we back in. Luke 16 and 21. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Yeah, that's some other nations. They set up shops, all that. You know, what is it? Selling the black woman's weed. Going there and buy the weed, and they think they the shit. You know, and I mean, it's a billion. What is it? The beauty business is $1 billion industry, multi-billion-dollar industry. And all of them nations, they just getting like they're just making a killing out of us. All women especially. And plus, they have these convenience stores that set up as well around our communities. So they're actually making our situation worse. It's really, in our reality, Jake should be running their own communities, their own stores and businesses, in their own so-called communities.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use the term community because the term community means, I think it goes back to Babylon or something like that. So I'm not going to use the term, but I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, the area within Jake.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
And it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried.
The rich man died that was buried. So when they both passed on, their conditions changed.
Yeah.
The beggar became the rich, and the rich man became the beggar. So Esau's going to become the beggar in our society. Go on, brother.
And in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torment,
Being in torment. Go on.
and seeth Abraham afar off.
As the old saying goes, the white man's heaven is the black man's hell. And this time, our heaven is going to be their hell. And they're going to be begging us to lighten the affliction. Because the affliction is going to be so potent that they're going to probably want to kill themselves. But they're going to deal with the affliction. Go on, brother.
And it says,
He wanted to say something.
So like, no, when you said they're going to kill themselves, that's Esau's spirit, man.
Yeah,
At the first sign of
Yeah.
trouble, they always
Yeah.
off themselves.
There's a saying: if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And Esau, he loves to do the crime, you know. But when he gets a little lock
Slap
up,
tap
on
on
the
the
wrist,
ass.
yeah, tap on the wrist, or lock up in his cell for one night,
Gone.
finds a way to try and kill himself, top himself. And that happens a lot with these people.
They can't endure affliction the way Jake can.
Yeah.
We had to be built this way because the Lord knew He was going to put us through the ringers, man. We have to get through it.
Yeah.
Go on, brother.
It's a beautiful point you just made. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I'll bring it out. Look at all that the Most High done to us. Put us on the slave ships, stripped us of our heritage and knowledge of who we are, and the Most High loves us. Imagine what it's going to do to the wicked, who He hates.
Yeah.
We haven't even seen, we can't even comprehend the kind of terror the Most High is going to put on the Edomites when they go into slavery, man.
Because, and if you can, speaking about that,
meditate terrorism.
and if you think about that, if you can, brother, give me Isaiah 14. Because the reason why the world is going the way it's going, because we're transitioning, man, to a world where our enemies that have enslaved us and put us down so harshly, they're gonna have to go through the same thing. All right, go on, bro.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Yeah, the strangers is referencing the Israelite foreigners. Go on.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
So we, the Israelites, are going to possess those that possessed us, that made a killing off of us, financial gain, and as well as we've kept this society going most effectively. So all of that they're going to have to pay for. So now what's going to happen is they're going to become our resources. That's what you call justice.
Balance.
Complete balance. There you go. Go on, brother.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
And handmaids. So we're going to possess those that possessed us, simply put. So they're going to go into captivity. The same way we went into captivity, they're going into captivity now because they basically touched the apple of the Lord's eye. Now, them guys that came up, they probably were Jakes too.
Yeah, I'm thinking that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keep it real about it. You know what I mean? And that's why they walked away, because they're probably thinking, oh man, maybe I'm gonna need a mic.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, the Spirit is gonna have it to where things are gonna be revealed. And they may even wake up to this thing, man. Because hey, you know, you got the peaceful multitude. You know, but I mean, I could tell when certain people come up in the most simplistic way. I could see that in his spirit. And that's why he kind of got the going, because it's like, I guess he could read us and know that we're not going to be tolerating no nonsense over here. You know? Go on, bro.
It's been a while. Revelation 13:10 says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right, so these so-called JEWs, they're going into fucking slavery, man.
Right.
They're going into captivity. And they're going to do exactly everything that we told them to do. And the way that we're going to treat them, as harsh, and if not 10,000 times harsher than how they treated us. All right? Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Baal Shemi Shai, as it is written, the Lord is going to put the spirit on us to jack Esau out, beginning with those small hatters. We're going to get them more effectively, because they made a killing out of us, man. A lot of money was made. The economy was booming because of our enslavement. The reason why their economy came into effect was because of us.
Yeah. Oh, if I could just say, the small hat people, them from the upper echelons to the common small hats. There's a brother done a video on South Carolina. One of the daughters of the typical small hat people, saying that they have conferences whether they should cancel someone. For example, you got their years at the moment, and she says that her family are involved, but the common small hat people, they have a little sit down where they're going to discuss whether someone in the amongst the entertainment industry should be cancelled or they should let them carry on. She said that that's what happens on a regular basis in her community, the small hat community. So it doesn't matter if she said her father was involved in Marlon Manson, that guy.
The guy with the penny on his face.
Her father was involved in the sit down on whether he should be charged or not. Charles Manson, that's the one. He had all the tattoos on his face, and he went in prison. And he was accused of raping a lot of women and having them as some kind of what they call it, with that Dave Courage thing. You know that Dave?
Mind controlling.
Mind controlling. So one of the small hat people, right, a relative to the woman, which is on the video, was breaking down how the small hat people, they run basically behind the scenes, which we know already. But the woman came out as a whistleblower and said what it was. So,
told the truth.
Yeah, so the tongues are falling upon themselves, man. So that's what is happening, man. They're being exposed more and more.
That's
Yeah, just one thing, brother. She's only like saying something we've already known.
Yeah.
That's why they say, oh yeah, well that's an anti, you know what statement to make, to say that we control the media. You do control the goddamn media. You know how you prove that? Because when we say something on YouTube, it gets suppressed.
Everybody knows it.
But that's for the. But that's for the.
Everybody knows.
Because we say it, right? It's just us. But when when one of them to the 2/3 or any anybody else. You don't want to hear it from us. Hear it from them. Nah. You understand? That's the Most High making their tongue fall upon themselves for them
Making it
to.
plain.
They don't want to hear it from us, even though we know. We've been saying it.
It's a matter of power. Because like I was saying, everybody knows that they own and run everything. It's just the fact is you can't say it, and everybody knows you can't say it. It just goes to tell you who's in power right now on this earth. That's why they have the Anti-Defamation League, so you can, so anytime someone starts talking about it, they can come out and call you anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is a load of bullshit anyway. Because as we know, they're not the only Shemites out there.
No, that's it. Because what they don't want, they want to keep their power hidden.
Yeah, so like, when you check it about this anti-Sem, whatever it is, right? When you check it, man, apart from Ham and Japheth, everybody else is Semitic, man.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal, man?
Yeah.
Oh, you're anti-us, anti-this, the anti-S movement. If you're a Hamite and a Japhite, you're excluded. But every other line of people comes from Shem.
That's it.
So come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be playing it.
I'm pretty sure there's a definition. I'm not going to try and go into it too deep because I don't want to butcher it, but there's a definition in the dictionary definition of being Shemitic and then Semitic. So they basically coined the Semitic phrase to separate themselves from from the Shem definition, which involves the so-called Negroes, which is us, right? But that's like that's obviously a new thing. So basically, what I'm saying is they've separated themselves. So now you can't say that everyone's Semitic because they're only Semitic.
Yeah, but that's
there's no such fucking
that's
thing.
foolish. That's foolishness. You know why that's foolishness? Because that term that they're using, right, originates back to the original term, which is Shem. So it's silly that they're using that, and it don't even make any. And well, actually, I do understand what you're saying. They're trying to use that term for themselves. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, like, listen, man, that term goes back to the original term anyway, right? So when you look at the people, like the brother was breaking down, there's multiple different nations that came out of the lineage of Shem, right? And that's just the thing. And what it is they just do that. You know what it is, right? Just to break it down simple, they don't want nobody to talk about them. Yeah. Just like you said, brother. That's the ultimate thing. Yeah, that's what all it is. Because they know that we know what's up, but they don't want us to keep talking about them. Because the more we talk about them, is the more people are going to be aware of them, that they're the ones that are behind everything that's going wrong. Yeah. So if that's the case, then people are going to go riot and storm down their buildings and everything else, and cause a ruckus. And ultimately, they can't do the deceiving. Because if you know that the deceiver exists, remember the saying, the biggest, what is it, the best trick that the devil played is to say that he never exists. There you go. So the thing with these JEWs, they don't want you to know that they're around and not saying them so that they can keep deceiving the world. That's what it's all about. So really their power is by staying in secret so that they can deceive. That's why they don't want you to talk about them.
If they manage to fulfill their NWO exactly how they want it, they'll be happy to let you know that they're running. Yeah. By then it will be too late. Yeah. But they need to keep that. They need to. What's that? I remember there's a song and P Diddy.
Read that scripture.
P Diddy says bad boys move in silence and violence. So they're trying to keep, like the elders said, they got to maintain a low profile. Yeah. In order to keep it moving. Yeah. But everybody already knows, man.
Everybody knows, man. The rabbit is up the back. Their heads have been exposed. Go on, bro. But
I was going to say the cancellation of people is what stops people from opening their mouths. It's the same way it stops people from opening their mouths against all the alphabet crew. Because they just don't want to get looked upon as being hateful and whatever else goes, whatever other things they're going to throw at you. Hate speaking your truth, man.
That's it, man. Come on, bro. And too, it's funny how when the kingdom is set up, we're going to expose ourselves. We're going to let you know, look, we're the ones that's running this shit. We're controlling you. We're telling you what to do. Right? We're the ones that's going to lead you in the way of righteousness and that you keep the law. It's going to be a well-known fact. We're not going to be hiding behind these nations. We're going to let these nations know straight. We're the Israelites. You are under us.
And Elder, that is hard work to hide. Cover up your tracks. All that is hard work.
I know it's too much.
To cover up your tracks every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we just free. Tell it as it is.
It's not truthful.
You know what I mean? There's truth.
Well,
Truth.
a serpent has to do that to survive. They have to
Yes,
do that.
yes.
Lion just...
Yeah.
Lion, I like the way the lion just is spade, man.
Yeah.
Just comes straight.
It's straightforward.
Tell you straight.
Going on.
Yeah, this is Luke 19 and 24, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water.
Yeah, so in other words, like in the affliction,
Yeah.
please, I beg you, don't be too hard on us, please. You know, he's gonna be he's gonna be begging now. Because we're gonna have his foot on his neck, and he's gonna want our foot to get off his neck to a little degree, just to lighten the load a little of this hell that we have to go on, bro.
And it says, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember thou in thy lifetime
Come.
receivest thy good things.
In this lifetime, they received good things. They was living loftily, telling people what to do, manipulating people by using the media, and just being rich. They had that time.
Now all of a sudden they want to be fucking best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he wants to
We're
be best
equal
friends.
now. We're all equal.
You're all
We're all
equal now,
equal now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Too late for that shit.
Yeah, but they just want us to wash away the shit that
Yes.
they're taking the fucking
Yeah, can't we
piss.
all get along? That kind of spirit.
Yeah.
Forget, let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
But they don't do that, though.
No.
They got you constantly being mindful of their so-called, I would say, pseudo-Holocaust.
Yeah.
But when you talk about your real Holocaust, we don't want to talk about that. They have an issue with you talking about what really happened to us. Come on, man. So when this shit happens, man, we're not gonna care about how much they crying, what they're feeling. We're not gonna give a fuck about that. Excuse my language. I was doing good up to now. Go on, bro.
Right at the
Hey, look,
end.
you're laughing, man.
And likewise Lazarus, let me read that again, verse 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things.
Right. And likewise, Lazarus, evil things. Like we're going through right now. We're going through the evil things. What are the evil things? The cursing that we're experiencing. And they're living good. So when we live good, it's going to be reasonable for them to suffer like how we suffer, but much more greater. Because what we're suffering is light. This is nothing, really. What did Paul say? Paul said that
Light
this
affliction.
is light affliction. So this ain't shit in comparison to how we're going to
Yeah.
treat these motherfuckers, man. Go on, bro.
But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Right, now he's comforted and thou art tormented. So them JEWs and all of those sons of Edom, they're going to be tormented when we have our foots on their necks. And I mean that from an economic perspective. Go on, brother.
And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed,
I would say literal and that as well. Go on, bro.
so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence.
Right, there's a great gulf fix. It's like, for example, man, like down here in the UK, London to be exact, you have you have the bridge that separates from the other side of London to the
London Bridge.
right, the London,
London Bridge, you got
London
Tower Bridge.
Yep.
A load of bridges.
Huh?
A load of bridges. A lot of them.
It separates where Jake is at and where Esau lives at. Going out.
And it says, Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my house, to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. Abraham saith unto him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, Nay, Father Abraham.
Yeah, and he said, no, Father Abraham. Yeah, because the 5 book of Moses tells you what it is. An eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. And many other various scriptures. So we're going by us ruling the kingdom, we're going to go by the 5 books of Moses. Yeah, and all of these books, as well as even in the New Testament, does not give Esau a good, Esau is not really presented well in these 5 books of Moses. So we're going to do Esau viciously the way that he dealt with us. Go on, brother.
Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
Absolutely.
and double unto her, double according to her works,
Right.
in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double.
Right. And that's what's gonna happen, man. Esau's gonna get double on what he did to us. Because yet we're still fighting Esau. You're fighting against us, we're fighting against you.
Yeah, man. You said it boldly too.
To the death.
Right, to the death. Just like Jacob fought with the angel
Yes.
and withstand the angel, so much so that the angel respected him and gave him a different name.
Yeah.
Israel, which means he is the prince of the power. So we're gonna fight to the death. And you're gonna fight to the death too, because you don't have no choice, Esau. Just like we don't have no choice but to fight to the death. And this is a spiritual war. Now, are we fighting these regular peons? No, we're not fighting them. We're fighting the elites. And the elites are fighting over us. That's what this is all about. But we're gonna win at the last, because it's already written that the righteous will overcome. Go on, brother.
Verse 7 says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit as a queen, and am no widow,
Proud.
and shall see no sorrow.
Proud.
Right. And that's the pride, that's the absolute pride of these devils, especially these American devils. They believe that they're too great to fall.
No, boy.
And that really goes into the minds of all of these devils. They believe that they're too good to fall apart, because they've been in power for too long. They've been hypnotized and brainwashed in their own success. They're feeling themselves too much.
Too much for them.
That they themselves feel like they can't be stopped, like the Most High can't be stopped. But they will be stopped in the greatest fashion, in the most dramatic fashion. Go on, brother.
2nd Ezra 6, starting at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world.
Yes, so there you go. So Esau's end of the world is right. We read it in Revelations 18, and we're reading it in the 2nd Ezra and many other places we can go to. That the end of this world, the end of the so-called white man's world, is already written, and it's going to come to pass. As a matter of fact, it's happening right now. It's transitioning right now. The end of this society is happening right now, and the beginning of that, and that which is fallen is rising back up, and that's the sons of Jacob, the elect, because it's going to be the saints that's going to take over the next kingdom. Okay, by the behest of the one and only, the one that died on the cross of our sins, Yahweh Shah. So this shit is up. That's why these people are bugging the fuck out. And they drinking themselves to death. They're not drinking because they're happy. They're drinking because they're upset about the life, and things ain't going their way. Lost their jobs, probably lost their woman. You know, when women's cheating on them, sleeping around with all different kinds of men and shit.
That's torment, man.
That's all kind of tormentation.
Drinking to forget, trying to not remember, trying not to wake up.
Yeah.
You said it best,
Drowning
brother.
their sorrow.
Yeah. That's why they out here like this. But we out here because we're We're compelled and we're inspired to be out here to do this work.
I remember Elder, the scripture says, and the meek shall inherit the earth forever.
Yep.
The meek, and we are the meek.
And we are the meek.
Because we have to put ourselves right down. You know, like all this bullshit what's going on.
So that's what it is, man. Our victorious times is coming. That's written, and Esau's end is written, and it's going to come to pass. It's going to happen. All right, it's happening right now. Excuse me, I keep saying it's going to happen. It's happening right now. So with that, we want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, B'kal Kodash.
Wa
Shalom. Kwame Shalom.